Semblance on chef, you even tipping it. If that's it, was your else again? On a chef of my gas, that up, yeah, eat it. So the chef on me, feed up, seal, eat it. Itty place, booty fat, eat my vegetables. Itty place, but a tag, I'm professional. Make a splash, always got that drip fit. Manifesting every wish, professional, she never miss. Professional, she gon' go. Gonna handle all of this, yeah. Professional, she gon' go. Gonna handle all of this, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of MZ Talks Boxing. I'm your host, MZ. We're going to talk about it. We're going to wait for some fam to roll in, see how everything going. Salutations, salutations, salutations. Who we got in the house so far? Y'all come on in, man. Make yourself comfortable. We're going to talk about the fact that when your boxer takes an L, who's to blame? And I'm sure, we recognize that Jermell Charlo's name has got to fall on the list. Derrick James is being questioned about if he really is a trainer of the year. That's the question on a lot of people's lips. And I want to dig into it and see how y'all feel about it. What your feelings are about it. The fact that Jermell had a lackluster, mediocre effort against Canelo seemed to me he was just fighting to survive. That's just straight up all I can say about it. I also want to speak a little bit about Erickson Lubin's win. A lot of people thought it was not a win. Some people have to go back and look at it and see what they think. I kind of feel like Lubin took a loss, but I don't think that's going to be the point of tonight. I think tonight we'll end up speaking a lot more about Charlo, what we could be expecting from him next. And is Derrick James all of a sudden the bad trainer that everybody is trying to make him out to be? Because two of his fighters have taken a loss. Three of them didn't look so good in the wins that they One of them didn't look so good in the win that he won. In his win, speaking about Frank Martin, some people say the Ghost just didn't look that hot, but he got the win. I want to know how it is that Derrick James, he had 2 back-to-back losses. People are saying, hey, we heard what he had to say in the corner when the microphones was eavesdropping, letting the people hear what was said. They felt like his instructions weren't there. He wasn't saying enough. He wasn't giving good information to his fighters to be able to make the difference, make the changes. Well, I have to say, in my opinion, that doesn't all fall on Derrick James. His fighters also have to be doing what they were supposed to have been practicing on or working on in the gym. Disappointed in Charlo a little bit because I feel like he didn't give the people what he said he was going to give them. He didn't go out there and he went out there and laid down. But he told us that he was there to fight. He was there to win. He was not there to lay it down. Well, you guys saw the fight like I did. And it sure in the hell didn't look like he was there trying to win. It looks like it turned out. He lost. He survived. He took some good shots to the body, good shots to the head. But for the most part of the fight, all he did was move around. He got his hands in there. He put some hands on the guy every once in a while on Canelo. But for the most part, Canelo just got to do what he wanted to do. Basically, he just walked forward, threw power punches, and kept Jamel on the back foot. Jamel didn't use his jab often, or should I say much. It was damn near non-existent in the fight. And when he was using it, he didn't use the power jab that we used to seeing him use. He stabbed a few times, but he just didn't let his hands go. He should have took a page out of Dimitri Bivens' book. He could have fared a lot better. But hey, what can I say? I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan like everybody else trying to see a great sport, the best fighting the best, which right now it seems like, dare I say, PBC fighters taking some falls. Mario Barrios stood up because I'm hearing a lot of people making jokes about Texas having problems, with our fighters. Well, Mario Barrios is one Texas fighter that I could say he held his ground. He did what he was supposed to do. He went out there and took care of Dennis Ugas, and it is my opinion, my humble opinion, that Ugas might be time to chill. Don't know how much money he made. I'm not really interested in how much money he made, but right now it looks like it's about time to chill. There's been a lot said about opponents that Errol Spence has fought, how he might have taken something away from a lot of his opponents. That beating that Ugas received from Errol Spence, I don't believe it was any help to his career. None at all. But this is just my opinion. Like I said, my opinion, as humble as it is, does not make the world go round. But I do want to know what you guys or anybody has to say, I think, when it comes down to Ugas taking the loss to Mario Barrios. That's right, Mario Barrios right now standing up representing Texas is a name that we can call on. Not Jamel, not Jamal, and at the moment, not Errol Spence. Maul, we don't even know if he'll ever enter the ring again. Mel is talking about going back down to 154 to face Terrence Crawford. And with the showing that he put in against Canelo, makes a lot of people wonder, does it even make sense to try to watch Jamel fight Terrence Crawford? I've heard the words say that the shine to that fight has been taken away by Jamel's efforts at 168 against Canelo, the so-called face of boxing. I really want to know how this man is going to come back. Can he even deal with Terrence Crawford at 154? Now, I don't know what Terrence Crawford has at 154, but I surely do know that the man handled his business quite well at 147. Said Jamel looked like trash, pretty much. Didn't give a good effort, just went out there and laid down. A lot of people didn't say it, but I'm sure that's what a lot of people are thinking. The man went out there and stunk up the place. I can't stand here and try to say anything else about it except that's what he did. He stuck up the place. People complaining, didn't really want to pay $89. And when it comes down to that, that's what it is. The man went out there and stunk. But I want to know if it's Derrick James' fault and if Derrick James should be removed, because some people are screaming that he should be removed from Trainer of the Year list. How do you take a man's Trainer of the Year? He earned that. What's going on, Hyphy? I see you fell into the house on time and early today. What's going on, my brother?
My General MZ. Wagwan, brother.
Shit, I'm chilling, man. Chilling.
Let me hop right into it. I'm gonna hop on right now and I'm gonna get off, but I'm gonna come back on later. First of all, as far as like taking away his Trainer of the Year, you can't do that. What's done in 22 is done in 22. You can't go back and take away that man's accomplishments, unless like you have some proof that he was cheating or something. But nah, we can't do that. If he earned that title and that award, he get that. I don't care if y'all vote him as the worst trainer in 23. We ain't doing that. All right, now, secondly, yeah, he going through a bad spell right now. As far as like his main fighters and stuff, but just like a fighter could go through a bad spell, he could bounce his way back. So like it's a lot of Shakur fans and Crawford fans. They run around doing shit like lying on Derrick, talking about he didn't got fired from this fighter, that fighter, and that's not even true. So you got these dudes, they just don't like Derrick because they don't like Earl and stuff. But look, if he going through a bad spell, it is what it is. If he a good trainer, he'll bounce back from it, just like a fighter would.
True. And I agree with you on that, Hyphy. I have to say that when a fighter takes a loss, you can't just straight blame the trainer right out the gate. I feel like that blame should be shared, not with just the trainer, but the fighter himself. Did the fighter go out there and do what his trainer wanted? Did the fighter go out there and try to work the game plan that was laid out? Now, something that we've heard Earl Spence say about Jamel is that he needs to listen to the coach. We've heard Derrick James telling him, "Hey, stop." I know it was people made jokes about it, but Derrick James was telling Earl Spence, "Hey, you can't just be standing in front of him." He also spoke those same kind of sentiments to Jamel about not letting his punches go, and you got to put something more than just some love taps on Canelo. Now, if your fighter is not doing what he's supposed to do, is not doing what you guys worked on, whose fault is that? I'm not hearing anybody really blaming the fighters for not really listening. Like you said, Derrick James accomplished a lot last year. He deserved his Trainer of the Year. One of his fighters that took a loss is still a unified champion in the division that he came from. Will Mel be able to go down to 154 and reclaim top rank? We don't know. We have to see what he can go back down at. But I did hear something that made a lot of sense to me. That I guess I have to quote the guy. I saw Showbiz Adult on the podcast on an interview with Sean Porter, and the question was asked about Jamel, and he made a good assessment. He said Jamel is a big dude that was walking through guys and taking punches at 154. When he moved up, those his power and everything didn't seem to go with him. And at 154, he can take he can take a lot more punishment from guys because he was so much bigger and so much bigger for the weight class. Do you agree with that?
Well, if Showbiz made a good point, mark that as a special day in history, because that never happens. And unfortunately, that was the case with this statement. If you look at Mel compared to his counterparts, it's not like, oh, he's so much bigger. Nah, he's the same size as those guys. We're not gonna make it seem like, oh, just because he's so much bigger that's the reason for his success. Nah, Jermell and me and Trey, we always say this. We never look at Mel as like an A+ fighter. Definitely like not his skills. His defense is average at best. He just got that clutch gene. He usually wins. Now we didn't seen a couple of times where it ain't worked out for him as far as that clutch gene. But if you look at his winning percentage, yeah, he didn't came through in the clutch in close fights multiple times. That's what probably makes him the best fighter at that division, and he probably still is the best fighter at 154. So we not about to start like how you got these Crawford fans doing, where it's like everything about Jermell is terrible and does discrediting everything he did in the past. I'm not with that.
I feel you 100%. I'm not trying to denigrate what he did or what he's done and accomplished. Let me make sure that I make that clear. That's not what I'm trying to do to him. I'm just trying to dig into it so we can find out what people thinking and how they feel about it. My biggest knock with Jermell was that he fell in, he started falling in love with his knockouts. Yes, he does have some knockouts at 154. He was racking them up. But I've always said that I didn't think he was a knockout artist. I felt that he should work on his boxing techniques more than anything. If he works on the technical part of boxing, one, the knockouts will come easier. He wouldn't have to look for them. And if you run up against somebody that you can't knock out, you still have the tools to be able to put on a good enough showing where there's no doubt that you've taken the win. We've seen Jermell in some pretty close fights. And like you said, he got the, call it the clutch gene. He found a way to pull it off. He always found a way to pull it off. And I think that he should work on his skills more. He should concentrate on jabbing, moving around, hooking, blocking, things like that, and stop worrying about, I can knock this dude out. I'm going to knock this dude out. Because I thought it was quite foolish that he was even stating that against Canelo. I can knock Canelo out. No, what you need to do is outbox Canelo. Put Canelo on his back foot sometime. Make Canelo have to pause and stop coming forward. He really didn't do that in that fight. He really didn't give Canelo enough to worry about.
Yeah, and let me just piggyback off what you were saying earlier. She was talking about like, some of the blame has to be on the fighter. Now we could look back at certain stuff. We seen Canelo, he moved his camp to a different location, a place for higher elevation to get away from possible distractions. You're just, in the hopes of having a better camp. While we see Jermell, he training at home. He making statements talking about, oh, no, I'm not going to bend to my family. I'm not going to leave my family. Certain stuff like that. So, you got to share blame on the fighter. I know damn well Derek didn't tell his fighter to go out there and fight passively. The 10th round. I know you losing for a fact. Keep fighting passively. No, that wasn't part of the plan. So, yeah, you put the blame on the fighter as well. They got to go across the whole team. But secondly, as far as like him, his skills, as far as like his offense and working on stuff, I always felt like Jermell, I feel like he could be a better fighter as far as setting up offense. He definitely could be a better defensive fighter. He did show he improved defensively a little bit when it came to the Castaño rematch. His biggest thing that he added to his game recently was his ability to ride on the ropes, and he was counter punching better. So he was showing improvements. I feel he needed to continue going in that direction, and I still feel he should. But I've always looked at him as like I said, it's not like he's just like this great offensive or defensive fighter, or even like a skill. I definitely don't think he's a high IQ fighter. I just don't look at him as like a good boxer, but he just has this clutch gene. And if you say, let's just say his winning percentage, let's just say it's 92%. Hey, that's a pretty good percentage, and that percentage was enough to allow him to be at the top of 154. We can already say he cleaned out a division. So I mean, I'll take that. 150, like every division always got to have an elite fighter or like an A+ fighter, but he rose to the top of that division.
Yeah, I remember you guys speaking something about that, and I'm gonna go a little deeper. When it's been brought up in conversations in our circles that 154 is stacked with a lot of good fighters, but you can't really put your finger on one that you would really say, hey, this is the A+ fighter right here. This dude is the one that has put himself head and shoulders above everyone else. Jamel has, I'd say, at least put his shoulders up a little higher than everybody else's, and that's because of the way he fought or he fights. Like you said, he always found a way somewhere in the close fight where he get that punch in that they didn't see that gets him the win. In my opinion, his best comeback fight, which you would only have to say he had two, that was against Tony Harrison and Castaño. I think he showed a better understanding against Castaño because he practically fought the same fight against Harrison. Harrison just screwed it off, lack of concentration or whatever it is that plagues Harrison. But I think his Castaño fight was the best one because, like you said, he did show that he can get on the ropes. He languished on the ropes a little bit, but he was able to counterpunch and work his way off. He stepped to Castaño a little more in that second fight than he did in the first. So that's why I can say I've seen the most improvement in his fight. In his fighting, I have to give Canelo props, and this is because Trey brought it to my attention when he spoke up. He said Canelo is one of the fighters that actually you can see makes changes, reinvents himself, and things like that. You can tell that fighting Floyd. After fighting Floyd, I noticed he picked up that slight shoulder roll. He started having a lot more head movement, things of that nature. I don't want to try to tear down none of his greatness, but I don't want to see people try to tear down Derrick James, Jamel's, or that camp period, because right now it seems like a lot of heat is going to that camp, and people are trying to find all kind of ways and all things to say about them in a negative light. When Canelo got his butt beat by Bivol, nobody was calling for his trainer to be fired. And you made mention about who was it that you say two of his fighters lost, and nobody called mention for him to be fired. Who was it that you said? Salido or something like that?
Okay. So recently, Ismail Salas, that's somebody that we rate as a top tier trainer also. Joe Joyce lost twice. We seen the Joyce rematch didn't look good. We seen Ugas in his last two fights. Those are Ismail Salas fighters.
Okay. And you noticed nobody said not one word. And we can't pretend like people weren't high on Joe Joyce, the juggernaut, you know what I'm saying? Big, slow, strong, but people rode high on him. They thought Joe Joyce could do something. Not saying that he can't still do something in the heavyweight division, but that, he was talked about like that. Ugas wasn't a guy that people would sneeze at either. A lot of people thought Ugas was a good fighter, a very good fighter. And him beating Pacquiao, that kind of pushed him up a little more, got a stock up there and everything like that. He took a bad beating that we all saw from Earl Spence. And a lot of people that I heard speak, a lot of fans say that Ugas was just standing in front of Earl and this and that. The same thing that Derrick was telling. He told Earl that you can't just stand in front of Crawford. You got to do this. I heard him give instructions. Might have not been the greatest instructions that people wanted to hear, but the stuff that he told him was the truth. Man, you got to start jabbing. You can't just stand in front of him. You got to get your head off the line. And for whatever reason, Earl didn't accomplish that. And going over to Jamel, he didn't accomplish that. He literally backpedaled the whole fight. It's a handful of times you can count on your fingers that he may have stayed and tried to engage. But for the most part, the man just fought like he said in his speech at the end. At least I didn't get knocked out. And I'm starting to agree with you a lot, Hype. He's not a cerebral fighter. He's not that guy. He's not that high IQ guy. If somebody gets in there who has skills and can think, they're going to beat him up real good. They're going to beat him up real good. And I don't want people to take this any kind of way, but looking at Terrence Crawford's skills and the way he fights, and looking at Jermell Charlo's skill and the way he fights, This is just, you just as good as your last fight, and I'm taking both of their last performances. If I had to put money on it right now today, I would say that Terrence Crawford will beat Jamel up.
We felt that way before, and it's because Terrence, it's like the IQ between those two guys is night and day. Now, a Charlo at 154, that's a bigger dude, a strong dude, definitely packing some punch, so he's definitely dangerous. And I don't think that he would have an incident where he come in there looking like Earl did. So I still take him as a dangerous fighter. But I ultimately felt that Terrence would have did the same thing to him. Now, we mentioned a fight earlier. You're talking about the Tony Harrison rematch.
Right.
Now, Tony Harrison was coming off an injury, had been out of the ring a year. He knew his mobility wasn't up to 100%. He was walking down Jamel and outboxing him. So if somebody needs proof, that's the fight right there. The thing is, Tony is not, at best he's an average athlete. He's not strong. He has his flaws, and ultimately he did throw the fight away, and Jamel capitalized on it. And when Tony made that mistake, but that fight definitely showed that his he don't have like an elite skill set. But once again, that clutch gene came in and he won a fight. But
right.
like I said, look, this one thing too, people. And this is why like some of the boxing fans be complaining, or even a fighter say, "Oh, look, as soon as a fighter lose, y'all want to throw him away." Hell, some of these people, they want to throw the trainer away. Oh, the fighter lose one fight, let's get rid of him, let's fire him. Look at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Let me say what's up to Gil Coles. We didn't sleep on you or nothing. We were just going through the conversation. I didn't want to break the groove of it. But salute to Gil Coles. He said OG and Hyphy. We got Joseph Brown and slid in the house. What's going on, Joseph Brown? Jesse Aguilar in the house. So anyway, yeah. Tony Harrison, he just had mental lapses. I'll put it like that. Yeah, you're right. He was out the ring for almost a year, and let's not forget, Jamel did have a fight while he was waiting for Tony Harrison. So that there goes that what's the word I'm looking for? When that goes that layoff
activity, yes.
There go that layoff, showing his ugly head again in that fight. And that you bring it up. I'm like, dang, you brought up a good point. That layoff showed up again, and that time it was Tony Harrison that was coming off the layoff. And you're right, he did step to Jamal and was walking Jamel down in that second fight until he started having those mental lapses. And I thought that Jamel would have stepped to Canelo, the way Floyd did. Floyd stepped to Canelo early in his fight with Canelo and let Canelo know that he was in there and there was something coming at him. Bivol also stepped to Canelo and let Canelo know that you're not just going to be walking me down all night and throwing these punches. I feel like that was one of the spots that Jamel could have made a better showing in. Trey Exton stepped into the house. What's going on, bro? Glad to see you rolling through. I'm tripping. But yeah, all those things make sense. But it just now hit me that, yeah, Tony Harrison was coming off the layoff when he fought Jamel the second time. Good call on that, Hyphy.
Yeah, and even with that layoff, his skill set, it was just night and day compared to Jamel, which is like, if you could walk somebody down and you outboxing them, you definitely on a higher level when it comes to your skill set. Now, I want to bring up some as far as, these fighters and trainers whenever they lose. I'll never forget this, but when Paul Williams got knocked out by Sergio Martinez in his next fight, they brought him back, and he was just, like the little HBO, whatever they call it, when they was like walking him through his career, and he was talking about that fight. He was like, next thing I know, I got up off the mat. I was like, fuck. But he said, as far as like what he thought next, he just wanted to bounce back. And he said, when it came to his trainer, Mr. Peterson, he said, "Oh, we win together, we lose together." It wasn't no thought ran through my mind about getting rid of my trainer. I like that mentality.
I love that mentality. You hit a bump. You hit a bump as a team. You take an L, you take an L as a team. It's a team effort. Yeah, one of y'all going out there and fighting, but one of you guys are the extra eyes that are supposed to be watching and seeing what's going on that I might not be picking up on. So I don't think it's fair that people should call for Derrick James to be fired right away. But then, it is what it is. That Derrick James stable has been receiving a lot of hate. I'm not going to just say from Terrence Crawford fans. I just say from different fans. That way I don't put a tag on nobody's back. But it is what it is. Like you said, trainers lose, trainers get fired. When they do get fired, a lot of times, what's the first thing that the fans say? Oh, why he fires trainer? Why he fires trainer? He tripping. That's usually what we hear. And now that a guy that took he's finally taking some losses. Let's keep it real with that. Let's go and understand. You can't expect a man to be. You can wish for undefeated, but you can't expect that to happen. So Derrick James has suffered 2 losses, not even with the same fighter, 2 different fighters. And people are calling for his pink slip. Come on, man, y'all stop that. This man only has 2 losses so far with his fighters. Nobody called for Bomac. You made a good point. Bomac took
Amir Khan and Jamel Herring. They both took losses.
Yeah. Nobody didn't say, "Oh, Bomac ain't shit. Bomac ain't worth the money." They didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So let's be fair and give Derrick James his chance to do what he needs to do. Trey said Derrick James hasn't been been living up to his to the hype in his biggest fights recently. I give him that, but at the same time, I can't erase the fact that prior to that, he accomplished what he accomplished. The new year started off, he's starting off on a bad foot. I'll give you that. He's starting off on a bad foot. This year started off, he had an undisputed fight in the middle of the year. He failed. He just had another fight, undisputed fight at 168, took his fighter up, which one thing surprised me. I thought that they would come in and try to be a little lighter. When Derrick James said that they were going to come in, try to come in 163, 164. I catch Jamal in another interview talking about, yeah, we could come in, but I ain't doing that. I'm coming in at 168, not thinking, because he ended up speaking about it at the end of the fight. Yeah, I didn't feel the same. I did feel the weight. He didn't use it as an excuse, but he did say he did feel the weight. But he felt like he was still moving around well. He just wasn't boxing. I'm going to just keep it real. I was disappointed in him. I was disappointed in the effort that he put out. And because when it come down to it, yeah, Derrick James, I guess we'll say he underperformed, but his fighters really underperformed.
Yep. All I'm gonna say is if people want to cry and bitch about Derrick wanting him fired, I'm fine with it as long as I hear y'all talk about y'all want Ismail Salas fired. But see, they're not gonna do that because most people don't even know some of the fighters that Ismail Salas trained. They don't even know that's a top tier trainer. Yeah, Joe Joyce losing his last 2. Ugas losing his last 2. They don't want to cry about Ismail Salas though.
Well, I guess you have to say it also is going to go with how much hype and how well people recognize your fighter. Your fighters in the spotlight and they doing good and people got their names in their mouth. They tend to learn about the trainer. So now, yeah, Trey X say the man got a claim for teaching the basics. When it's time to go to the next level, he's not delivering. Okay, I can see where that statement. I can see where that's going and give me a better picture of what you're saying. Yeah, you stepped up against Crawford, which for how long had that name been floating around Crawford? At least, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, let's say at least 5 years.
When it came time for the fight to finally be made, and everybody, said they exciting things to get the fans right. I'm just going through my mind on the different times that I heard them get interviewed and looking at what Trey said about the man teaching the basics. He literally, when he would be in interviews, the way he spoke was like, he spoke like he already knew what was going on and everything, like he was on that level and he would have something for that. But then I started hearing him say, "Oh, we don't have to do nothing different." I'm like, even Floyd mentioned knowing more than one way to beat somebody. Joseph Brown said, not to mention you lost a pound for pound best. Not no Uber driver. When Canelo trained, was taking L's, Bivol and Stevenson. Nobody was asking for Canelo trainers to be fired. Hypocrite boxing channels. Yeah, we mentioned that a little bit earlier about that. I'm not calling for him to be fired, but he has to take some heat too. Take some heat too for the way his fighters have been performing. That part. We spoke on that too. I was like, yeah, he gonna take some issue. Jamel, I just don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what a trainer could have did to make Jamel do something different, just from the way his attitude and the way he was looking in the ring and the way he was carrying himself while that fight was going on. Hey, I can't think of one trainer that I would say would have been able to say, man, get your ass out there and fight, quit playing and fight this dude. Because, you know, I wasn't seeing him fight the guy. You know, I've seen him on his bicycle. He'd throw a few punches, playing it safe, trying to be safe, trying not to get knocked out. How do you make somebody be ready to not do that?
Well, I'm gonna just speak on this specific situation. I've already mentioned multiple times, Jamel, he do most of his training with Johan Guzman for one. For example, y'all see he stayed at home in Houston. Derek gym is in Dallas, so they probably just doing a thing where Derek might come down for a few days, and that's about it. Because Jamel, he wasn't going up there to Dallas, so you know that's something that's not just gonna put you in position to have the best type of camp. That's what Ryan Garcia was doing when he fought Gervonta with Joe Goosen, only training 2 days a week. That's not going to put you in the best position. So once again, the fighter could put the coach in the best position, to have the best camp as well. That's time to me. So it sounds like they also got beat in camp. For example, we can also go back to the Earl and Terrence situation. Terrence said they had a 6-week pre-camp in Vegas before they started camp. Yeah, y'all lost in camp.
You know what surprises me is that these guys, Derrick James, this is a way for me to give him some blame. I'm like, these guys getting paid all this money, and me and my YouTube family, Decane, literally, he and I believe D-Lo, they literally spoke on when we watched them doing that little open workout where you see them doing they work. Decane and D-Lo literally spoke about seeing Crawford using the power jab and stepping to his right, using that power jab and stepping to his right. You mean to tell me that Derrick James and them didn't do their homework that this could possibly go on? So yeah, I can't say Derrick James and them. I'm gonna say Derrick James should have been the one that was breaking that down. I'm tired of hearing them talk about, I don't have to watch film, I don't have to do this, I just got to make my fighter be him. But no, that's not true. You got to be prepared for whatever that man is going to be bringing to you, or what he can possibly bring to you. You already said that Terrence Crawford was athletic, but you were thinking, saying Derrick James, he was thinking that his athleticism was going to fail him and didn't prepare for it. It didn't fail him. It was nowhere near failing him. He beat EJ ass. But yeah, I don't know. But Jamel, I'm like, what formula could you have done for him? Them not training together, like you said, hyphy regularly could be something. Because I feel like in order to train with somebody, you gotta be with that person all the time. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna live over here and you got a training facility there, but I got my own training facility and I'm gonna do this work here. And then when you come, I'm gonna work on what you want me to work on. But then when you go back home, 9 times out of 10, you're not working on it like he wants you to work on it. You're not, doing the little nuances that you're supposed to do. So yeah, I feel like trainers should stick together. Hell, a basketball team, you see, they got a head coach. Their head coach, well, in sports, when I played, our head coach dealt with us every day. So we knew what was up. We knew how he thought. We knew his attitudes. We knew these Earl and Frank, I think, are the two that gets to deal with Derek a lot. I don't know how often Joshua is there because, you know, he live overseas. Is he really living here trying to soak up all that he can from this man? Is Ryan Garcia staying here in Texas trying to soak up all he can? Are they trying to have these I'm here, let's work. Okay, I got to go. Are they having those kind of relationships? Gil Cole say, what if EJ go holler at Freddie Roach just for this rematch? I've never found Freddie Roach to be that guy when it came to training.
Hey, take that as a joke. What he said. I take it he was trying to be funny.
Oh, okay.
I hope so. I remember when Virgil Hunter, he said right after Terrence beat Amir, he said one of the differences, he said the main difference is, you know, Amir, he come to the USA, you know, he trained hard and all that. And then after that, you know, when he don't got to fight, he go back to UK. He said, you know, Terrence, like, you know, he live at where the gym is at, and he's always in the gym. He said that's the biggest difference. It's just some things, you know, you can't change. A coach can't make a fighter do everything. Some things you just don't have control over. And those things could be the difference between a win and a loss.
That a lot of times. And the just thinking about it, yeah, the dudes that seem to be lately, the guys that seem to be the gym rats that eat, sleep, think boxing, always active, those be the ones that seem to start in the bubble to the top. Now, Jamil, like he stay in the gym, we know he stay in shape, but the disconnect is if he's still getting taught by two coaches, he's not getting to devour one coach just exclusively all the time, 24 hours. You know, I'm at your, I feel like they should be at each other's reach 24 hours. If I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about some boxing, I should be able to call you and be like, Coach, you know, this and that, vice versa. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm just asking too much.
Nah, hey, when you see one team that got that type of relationship and you see they having the results, yeah, you know, you can learn something from anybody. You were speaking about, you know, Derek preparing for Terrence. We definitely got to acknowledge that's one of the most difficult fighters to prepare for, period, though. Because this is like the one guy who can actually fight good out of both stances. It's a lot of people that use both stances, but it ain't many of them that can fight good out of them. That dude actually can fight good out of both stances, like good out of both stances.
Right.
That's a tough task.
But see, that's not my issue with Derek. My issue is that I don't know if, you know what, I guess I have it's like a false issue because I don't know if he thought about it or not. But like I said, when you DeCane and D'Lo spoke on that man working on that power jab and stepping over after he did it, and then seeing him damn do it in the ring, I'm like, y'all saw it. I ain't gonna lie to you, I missed it in that pre-workout. I didn't see that. I didn't see it, like I didn't pay attention like you guys did. And I'm like, Derek, you know, like you the teacher. You supposed to be the man that's seeing and knowing what to do. You got their basics good. Okay, what is the next thing to do now? You basically, you know that this is the shit that you got to do. What are you gonna do? Prepare for this dude? You see this dude over here throwing a power jab and doing this kind of what? What are you prepared for that? Y'all saw that coming, and apparently EJ and Derek didn't. That's what my beef is with him. It's not. That's how I have to give him some blame because I feel like he underprepared that guy. I can't say what went on with the twin, except for what information you're giving me about the trainer, the guy that Guzman, that he always with, and Derrick James that he sometime with. You know, I can throw that in the mix of why. But to me, Charlo just went out there. I think he felt Canelo kind of hit hard, and I think he was worried about, he didn't want to get knocked out. Which Not wanting to get knocked out, in my opinion, will cause you not to want to engage. You would throw when you think it's really safe for you to. And I think that's what he did in order to come out that fight. He got the Canelo sweepstakes, got his check, didn't get knocked out, so he get to brag about that. Yeah, at least I didn't get knocked out. What happened to you when you went against Canelo? Y'all both lost. That's what happened. You just didn't get knocked out because you didn't fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how it went. Look, I mean, this whole thing where you see a fighter just fight the whole fight passive. Man, I've seen that way too much. I've seen it happen with most of Klitschko, Wadamir's reign. I've seen it happen with most of Triple G's career, and it's very irritating as a spectator. But once again, we don't know exactly what it's like to be in that ring with those people. But yeah, it's frustrating to watch, and I tell you, not only did Jermell ruin his chances of getting a Crawford fight, but I mean any big fight, he definitely ruins his chances after that type of performance. Nobody's really gonna want to see him again. They definitely not going to want to pay pay-per-view for it.
Yeah, you're right. I think he got a real steep climb to make in order to get people hungry to want to watch him again. Masked Man in the house, man. Appreciate you coming in. You're new to the channel, but we appreciate you coming in. He said with Jermell Charlo's party loss. Yeah, we know that. We speaking on that. Damn, I broke my train of thought. So,
we were talking about just Jermell moving forward. What type of fights see him in, and basically how could he get the people back on his side in his favor?
Well, a start would be, and this just me speaking truthfully, a start would be to get his name really back in people's mouths, is go down there and deal with Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is the big wave at 154 right now that is waiting to crash against somebody's beach. That's what I think that would be a great starting point, because he have to make it happen. Joseph Brown said he need an epic win over Tim Tszyu just to get any momentum back. And I didn't want to skip over Gil Cole, but he said just a different look as far as EJ footwork speed. I'm serious, but Bud got EJ number. He talking about the Freddie Roach conversation. Yeah,
respectfully.
Go ahead, respectfully.
Respectfully. Look, if he had to go fight Tim, I think he has to go over there to Australia because, more money is over there. But I feel like he's also lost any, let's just say, a side when it comes to that fight. Because once again, like if he fights in Houston, who really wants to see Jermell fight right after that performance? And he's never been a ticket seller in Houston. Damn sure not over here in Carson, California. So yeah, I think he has to go to Australia for that fight.
Now I'm going to see. I'm going to wait to see, because boxing fans can be fickle. We might be riding on the right track, but we're going to see if they're going to be willing to say, well, he was at 168 like they did so many times for Canelo, or they just going to just say, hey, you got to do this in order for you to get back in people's good graces. You got to do this. We ain't trying to hear nothing else. If they do that, then yeah, he not only have to have an epic win over Tim Tszyu, he got to go out there and look real good doing it. He can't be letting Tim beat up on him and then all of a sudden he come out of nowhere and get that winning punch. He got to go out there and put hands on Tim. He got to hit Tim like those two Rams doing in the mountains, and they trying to figure out who spot this is. He got to have one of those.
Yeah. Hey. Well, I'm gonna just put it like this. You see how you don't see any people making conspiracy theory videos or how Jermell was cheated and all that? That's because the man really don't got no fan base like that. So that's what I'm telling you. He's gonna have to really do something such as go to Australia to get back in the good graces of hardcore boxing fans.
Well, I wish him luck. That's all I could say. But I don't know how he said that he was daring to be great. I'm like, no, when you dare to be great, you take chances. You might get knocked out. Okay, I think people would have took it better if he was out there fighting and he got knocked out. People would be like, people would be like, man, he went out there and he didn't lay it down. He went out there and fought. But the performance that he gave us, it leaves that taste in so many people's mouths to say, man, this dude went out there and laid it down. Got people taking shots at Texas, talking about Texas having problems and stuff. I'm like, damn, really? We got 2 losses. We got 2 losses and we still got 3 belts here in Texas.
Well,
they might not. What?
Don't forget we got good fighters that was actually born in Texas, like O'Shaquie Foster, who had
we got Mario Barrios, man, who just whooped Ugas, man. Quit playing. Y'all know about Mario?
Yeah, San Antonio bred. I'm saying Texas got some fighters that was actually born in Texas. Y'all still got some. Like I said, O'Shaquie, he got a real belt, and he had a great performance this year. People just be sleeping on him.
Lord, we spoke on O'Shaquie. We went out there and did his thing.
Yeah, and he got one coming up against Rocky Hernandez. So now look, I know sometimes your schedule will be hectic. So did you get a chance to see anything else on that card?
I saw Lubin. I saw Lubin fighting on that card. And to me, Lubin, I think his opponent's name is slipping my mind.
Jesus.
Ramos just seemed to be applying a lot more pressure on Lubin. And Lubin seemed like he started kind of fighting a little timid to me. He didn't really want to exchange that often. He still fought through and everything like that, but his performance lackluster to me. And I kind of thought he lost the fight.
I was disappointed in both of them. Lubin, the urgency that he fought with, and pretty much throughout the whole fight. Jesus, how he took his foot off the gas, went in cruise control. That's another one. We all heard his trainer say, "Oh, you're up by at least like 6 rounds," and then you seen how the boy he couldn't get out of cruise control. And I mean, come on, you doing that on a Canelo undercard when you're on pay-per-view in front of the world? You gonna put it in cruise control? Just terrible. That's unacceptable for a 22-year-old and his trainer. That's who people need to be criticizing as well. It was just a lackluster fight, especially coming from the fight between Elijah Garcia and Resendiz, which was like a really good fight, very action-packed fight. And then we got a fight like that. The card just went downhill from the beginning to the end, unfortunately.
Yeah, people just in my opinion, they underperformed that night. Few fighters underperformed that night. See, I think the Masked Man said, I think he already has fans. He dared to be great. Now he needs to get it back. Yeah, I can agree with that. He said Texas been having problems. Jamal is basically retired. Jamel lost and Earl lost. Earl might lose worse in the rematch. That's why you shouldn't fall for the Derrick James hype. Well, Texas fighters under Derrick James is what? They got 3 losses, and 1 draw.
And
they got duck. 3 belts. And a who?
And a duck.
Texas have been overachieving. This isn't a boxing region. This is football country. Trey X stepping in. No, Texas ain't gonna never have no problems. Y'all better remember, Texas tried to be his own thing at one point. Texas got his own everything. But we're gonna keep it on what we're going with.
Yeah, so I was just asking about undercard. So all right, so yeah, you seen Mario Barrios get his W, yeah?
Mario Barrios. I did not get to see Mario Barrios. When my brother called me, I was at work, so he FaceTimed me and put it on TV. So I'm sitting here doing my thing and looking down at the fight. I didn't get to see Mario do his thing. Now I missed it, but I saw the Lubin fight, which was right before the Canelo fight. So those were the 2 fights that I got to see.
Yeah, the other fight that started off the pay-per-view, that was Elijah Garcia versus this fighter named Resendiz. And like I said, that was a good fight between 2 Mexican fighters. They was, fighting in a phone booth. Elijah Garcia, he finally took over and he got a stoppage. It was a real good fight.
Man, I'll be able to check it out. I'll be able to check it out. I got a class I got to go to tomorrow, so that's a plus. He
Now,
said, "Okay."
oh, go ahead.
Mass man throwing in. He said, "Okay, I'm saying Texas has been getting some good wins, but it's got to come back at some point." Oh, Texas always bounce back, baby. You know, it ain't nothing about it in Texas that they don't bounce back from. They high stepping down here, baby. They keep their head up. Elijah Garcia is a 3.5 on the pedigree scale. Just to let you know, Hyphy. So that's why it was a good fight.
Yeah, that's a fighter that we've been liking because he's one of the few PBC fighters that's been active. You know, he's young, but he been talking like a fighter. He been moving like a fighter. He been impressing us in fights. Now that fight, I definitely seen some like a lot of flaws and just some greenness that he got. But nonetheless, he's still been staying active, and that's the best thing for a fighter like that. So props to him. Another fighter that you probably been hearing his name, Carmel Moulton. Now he had to fight after the main event, but that's Mayweather's recent signee. So of course he's about to get hyped up a lot. He's
not the little youngster with the braces, huh?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay. I know. Yeah. I had to put the name to the face. I got you.
And unfortunately, he came out with a win, but unfortunately, when it was time for him to speak in a post-fight press conference, yeah, your man Floyd just completely resigned.
I saw that, man. I was like, Floyd, come on, dude. And the youngster looking like, he just looking. But I'm like, damn, Floyd, let this man have his time to shine. Get out the way. Back to Derrick James real quick. I have to put this on it. I feel like, you have some teachers, and I'm going to just put it on teachers. You have some teachers that can teach a multitude of people, and you got some teachers that specialize in smaller groups. And I'm going to say, I think Derrick James might have a little too much on his plate in order for him to be able to steady the ship. Some people might disagree with me and be like, he can still teach everybody, but I'm thinking that the way he teaches is more of a one-on-one type thing, and I don't see it where he'll be able to stretch himself with everybody with that one-on-one the way he teaches. I could be wrong, but I noticed that as the names grew over there in that stable, the less the fighters looked good. I could be wrong, but when it was just Earl and Frank, pretty much Earl and Frank was looking on point. Everybody had something good to say about him. Then you end up with Joshua, which people was excited about the fact that he was going to get a chance to work with Joshua, and then Ryan. To me, that's a lot for one person to say, I'm going to prepare all these dudes at the best of their ability against all their opponents and have them at their top, because I feel like you're going to miss something with somebody.
Yeah, it's possible. He needs to start looking into bringing in some other trainers in the gym that, finding somebody that he can actually trust. Maybe the guys that he already have, maybe he needs to start trusting them more, give them more responsibility. Who knows? But hey, there's nothing wrong with looking in the mirror and, asking yourself, what can I do to improve, especially as a coach, because, coaches that really care, they hate it when they the reason that, a team or a fighter loses. And I'm pretty sure he feel that same way. So, yeah, he probably hearing all the criticism, and that's motivating him to step his game up, which is all that we can ask for.
Yeah, that's it. But I won't ask for him to be fired. Say Derrick James is mad overrated. I called it when people was going. I called it when people was going to turn on him when Earl and Jamil lost. It's the same pattern with Abel Sanchez. He's basically training finished products.
Okay, so I know, I feel where you're coming from, because we can say, okay, Jamil, okay, we know he came from Ronnie Shields, and he was already, he already had some light on him during that time. So I understand that. Earl, Olympian, a standout. I understand that. On top of that, you got two. Let's just say if this is horses, you got like two. It's the jockey. He got two really good horses. I understand that. So I understand where he's coming from. But
okay, now with Earl, I think Derek been with Earl a little longer. I think Derek pretty much helped transform Earl from amateurs to pros. So Earl would be, in my opinion, an all Derrick James fighter. Everything about Earl Spence pretty much came from Derrick James.
Correct.
Now the other fighters, I guess you could say they kind of with Frank Martin too, because he getting started at such a late time in his career. But Ryan is coming from somewhere else where he's had tutelage with Canelo and his people. That was where he started at, So I don't know. I won't say he's just mad overrated. I'm gonna say I feel like right now he got too many fighters on his plate. If I'm wrong, or if it's a trainer that has accomplished having more than two super great fighters that's doing their thing or did their thing, put it in the chat for me. Let me know that I'm tripping. But I think that could be a major part of what could be going on with Derrick James. Maybe he just too stretched out.
Yes, it's a possibility. I said
that's not making it. I'm sorry. That's not making an excuse for him. But there is at a point that people can be too stretched out. You can be stretched thin at what you could do with your abilities. His abilities might be stretched thin right now, so we're not seeing the best of him. Can he overcome that? I don't know. It's possible, but looking at the way he coached and hearing the interactions that Frank and Earl used to always talk about, I can't see him doing that with Frank, Earl, Jamil, EJ. I mean, what's his name? Joshua and Ryan.
Yeah. Now, Gil, he in the chat saying bring back Blu-ray. Let's just put it out there because it's already been put out there on YouTube. Blu-ray, he confirmed. He said, look, Derek was never a fan of him, never in favor of him being around. So that man, he always had to work out with Earl somewhere else. He never went to the boxing gym. So, I don't know if that's the best move to make for their camp, unless they could somehow go make it work similar to how they was before. But I don't know.
Okay. What Derrick James fighter has an A level skills? Well, I didn't say none had them. I just said that the one that you would say is the most built by him would be Earl and Frank. But I'm just saying that whatever whatever attention he can give in his teaching, I'm just saying maybe he can't handle what he got. Maybe he got too much. Maybe he got too much on his plate. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm pointing at. Good trainers of Robert Garcia, Enzo. Who is that? Calzi.
Enzo Calzaghe. That's Joe Calzaghe's father.
Virgil Hunter, Buddy McGirt, etc. Man led one fighter to undisputed and another unified. Not too many trainers has done that. Who are trainers now? Can't take away that he's a. Damn, I messed that all up. Can't take away what he's done. Who are trainers now can't take away what he's accomplished. No, I'm not trying to take him. Believe me, that's the last thing I'm trying to do. The only thing that I'm pointing at in my assessment is looking at him and saying, and seeing what's happened with his fighters and seeing how the performance has changed up. I'm thinking maybe he just got too many people in his stable for him to handle. And it's no shame in that. So it's no shame in that at all in knowing what your limits are. Because if that's what it is, you recognize what your limits are. Maybe you can't help everybody. So what? The world might say, oh, he couldn't do it. So what? You do it with what you got. Like, Joseph Brown do say he did lead a guy to undisputed, and he does have a guy that was unified. And at the time when they was winning and rolling their roller coaster, everybody was happy, and they had their hands in that air going up and down the hill. So now we done hit a few bumps and just did a loop. People's stomach and got a little turned over. Just chill. It'll be all right.
Hey, now I do want to just elaborate on something that Che was saying about which of his fighters has A-level skills. Now, that's the thing. He didn't have some top-tier horses, as we would say. He didn't have Earl, Jamel, he got Frank. For a short period, he had Marcus Brown. These some top-tier horses, and he ain't been able to take none of them to the point to where we could say they got elite-level skills. So for me, that would be a knock.
Okay. I'm laughing because I was just waiting for Trey to hit me. He said, you are making excuses for James, OG, talking about the man is being stretched thin. If Derrick James is such a good trainer, his fighters should have A-level skills. They don't. All I can do is say I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. Maybe he taking them as far as maybe what he can do is add to what he has and still stay hands on, but bring in some help. But if that's still going to play for me, is even if he can't get him to A-level, he's stretched thin. But I can't take away the fact that the man got championships up under his belt. He does have that. The Derrick James fighters are achieving off natural ability, not because they have great skills. How if you fell out with Ebank? Yeah. Hard, determination, a little good coaching. We never said that he was an elite trainer. We didn't say that. We were saying that he was working on it. We were saying that he was working on that greatness level. If he could pull off a few more things with his fighters, those things didn't come through. The undisputed that fell off with Earl, that was a massive letdown. But with Charlo, I can give it some problem for James, but it's the way Charlo went out there and performed, man.
Yeah, I know you just like, the lack of effort, especially coming from somebody who did this whole Lions only.
Yes, you feel what I'm, yeah, that, you know what I'm saying, dude, this is the time right now to be Mustafa. He turned into Scar.
They saying kittens in the camp, but it didn't help his image either. The fact that you see him saying, "Oh, maybe I'm more calm this time because I don't got my rowdy ass brother around me," and then you see the All Access clip where he talking about, "Don't have me on camera breathing like Earl Spence. Don't have me like that."
He took some shots. He took some shots at his home. He should. I felt kind of like he tripping with that. But
he had another one. Oh, go ahead.
But I'm looking at it right now because I'm really trying to see. I'm trying to pick at him to see who levels is like. But he and Earl, if you really look at it, they jab the same. They kind of step the same. Charlo seemed more athletic, but they kind of fight. Earl just pushes forward on his. Charlo, god damn, man, he didn't push forward, man. He didn't at one point in that fight did he show that he was there to win. When he made the statement, I'm not here just to lose, talking noise but I knew something. When he wasn't being the Jamel Charlo that we used to seeing him be at the press conferences. I was like, oh man. I didn't say it to nobody. I just, to myself, I'm like, man, this dude, he's not being that dude that where the dude that was calling Cinnamon. Hey, Cinnamon, where that dude at? Because this is not that dude. I thought that you had changed up to get the fight, and once you got the fight, you was gonna unleash and be back who you was and go get it. Man, the bell rung. They took one of his belts at 154, and he just backpedaled the whole fight.
Yeah, he also had another moment where he was saying, I'm a lion, and I take care of my business he said we take care of our business every time. Well, at least me. It's just little shots like that he was throwing. And he was dissing his brother and Earl. Some people would take it as that.
Well, pride comes before destruction. And he get hold on. We got Trey in the house. What's going on, Trey X?
Salute, man. I think y'all letting James out the hook. I really do. Because even talking about how Jermell didn't come to fight, that's part of the trainer's job to have his fighter in the right mind state coming into the fight, right? Or even providing that spark like a Teddy Atlas used to get on Michael Moore, or somebody like Emmanuel Stewart. He'll get on Lennox Lewis, and he'll get on Klitschko and light that fire under them. So they go out there and take care of business. You know what I'm saying? The coach is responsible for skills and some motivation as well in the fight. And okay. I don't feel like Jermell came ready on no level. I don't think like what we talked about with Crawford, what he was working on coming into the Earl Spence fight. He was being prepared to take advantage of Earl's weaknesses. I didn't see Jermell trying to take advantage of no weakness from Canelo at all. I was thinking, what have they been working on in the gym? Like, what have you been doing in the gym this whole time? Just running on the treadmill so you can stay in shape and you can run all night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see his fights with his fighters and I just be thinking, oh man, that was smooth. Did you see that? Did you see that move? I don't never think that shit. Even when Earl was on top and we would break down like different attributes of the fighters, I never said Earl had A-level skills. I always said I felt like he had like B- skills. He looked like a man that started fighting when he was 15 to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't never look at them dudes and think like Mayweather or Pernell Whitaker or no shit like that. Frank Martin, his last fight, people thought he was at a skill deficit in the fight. Only reason he won is because he got so much heart dog and determination coming down the stretch that he closed strong and he went out there and took a victory. But that's a fight where a lot of people felt like he was at a skill deficit. Earl Spence Jr. going against Terrence Crawford, skill deficit. Jermell Charlo against Canelo, skill deficit. How many times am I supposed to see his fighters at a skill deficit and I'm supposed to keep on thinking that he's some kind of high-level trainer? When is his fighters going to be at a skill surplus?
Great question. Great question. Great point.
Especially when you got top-tier horses.
And that's why he achieving so much. He got people that got natural ability, God-given talent. He got two fighters that started boxing late, and they top level motherfuckers, high level contender. And Frank Martin, he started fighting. He was 19, and Earl Spencer, former unified champion, he started fighting when he was 15. That tells me that you got some guys with some natural ability. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just looking at the skills, y'all. Like, one reason I say Robert Garcia, one of my favorite trainers, because he trains my favorite Texas fighter, Bam Rodriguez. And I think Bam Rodriguez got some outstanding skills in that ring. And so when I'm looking at Robert Garcia compared to Derek James, I see one dude that consistently got his fighters with a skill deficit. And then I see somebody like Robert Garcia that I just seen him with fighters that got a skill surplus. Like even Mikey Garcia was a more skilled fighter in the ring most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I done seen examples, but can't nobody show me no examples of Derek James with his fighters having a skill surplus.
You know what? And I guess we have to hang that one up on the Raptors because that's a great point. That's hard to make a debatable comeback for.
Yeah, I like a fighter to go out there and do something slick, do something smooth, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like when you go out there, and okay, I'm gonna tell you a move that I saw, and Crawford did it in the Earl Spence fight when he stepped to the side. He did the move that y'all was talking about that he practiced, man. He did it. He punched Earl in the face with his power jab. Earl tried to jab back. Crawford stepped over. The jab went shot up to the air, and Crawford caught him again. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. Ooh.
Yeah, we talking about the sweet science.
Yeah,
It's different. It's different ways to win fights. Like you got some people that go in there and they win with that determination. Ruslan Provodnikov type motherfucker that just gonna go out there and fight you to the death. People got so much love for somebody like Arturo Gatti, even though he had some okay little skills when he wanted to use them, but he also could dig down deep and just go in there and at the very least, a battle being an entertaining fight. He gonna take some to give some, you know what I'm saying? But then you got some fighters that go out there and win with the sweet science. They hit and don't get hit. They do something slick, do something smooth out there. You know what I'm saying? They got quote unquote special effects. When we look at his fighters, what are the special effects? You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a good one right there. Special effects.
Earl Spence only got one jab. And we got to give him so much credit for having skills. He only got one jab. He got off in there with somebody like Terrence Crawford that had variations on the jab and got his ass toe up. He was supposed to have a better jab coming into the fight, and he got out jabbed by Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Like the signs are there. And then look at like even when we seeing them train, does the shit look like high complexity with skills when you see him holding the mitts? I see him just going out there. He got people hitting one punch at a time. I be seeing him hold mitts and people ain't even throwing combinations. And I'm talking about with Earl Spence. So, you know, the results are what they are. So for the longest, I ride with James. You know what I'm saying? They would say certain stuff like, I haven't had to bring out the skills that I really possess.
That part.
So I give them benefit of the doubt. But when it came time for them to pull out them skills, they haven't been able to. Where's all these covered up skills that you haven't been having to use? When I see you off in the biggest fight of your life, y'all not pulling out these skills. So that's making me think that y'all really ain't got these skills. Derrick James, his call to fame is to having his fighters fundamentally on point, fundamentally solid. But it's not about the special effects, though.
But the sweet signs make it special. So it looked like a special effect. D-Lo in the house. What's up, man? He said skill deficit for sure. Even mofos like John Molina had a following because of his dog determination. Jamel never had the skills either. People assume Jamel had better skills than Jamal because he didn't KO people early in his career, in his early career. Then after he got with James, all he did was really rely on his power.
Yeah, and I never was a big fan of the Charlos, though. I'm just gonna be 100. I always thought they was basic, and a lot of that blame I gave to their coach down in Houston. What's his name?
Dang, the dude we say overrated.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name right now, and that's sad because he even had F.A. Ajagba for a minute.
I can't think of his name.
D-Lo, help us out, man. What's the coach's name that's down there with that was with Jamal in Houston? F.A. Ajagba. Shields, Ronnie Shields.
Yeah, Ronnie Shields. And I felt like they was very basic, but I just blamed it on Ronnie Shields. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, them dudes just some basic fighters, man. They ain't got some deep amateur backgrounds. One was 65-6. That's Jamal. The other one was 56-8. You know what I'm saying? They turned pro relatively young. Jamel was 17 when he turned pro. Jamal was 18 when he turned pro. They ain't got no international competition where they fighting around the world. They was fighting on a national level in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just don't see no massively skilled fighters. I never felt like that.
Can I say this? Listening to your argument, the way you broke it down, I can say maybe, and this could be it. Derrick James' rise to fame could come part in because, like you said, he got some naturally good dudes with Earl Spence and Frank Martin. The appeal of them is that they started late and accomplished so much. They overachieved under Derrick James, which got people thinking, hey, he must be a good ass trainer. But when it came down to it, they don't have the elite jab, the elite moves, things that they need for the upper echelon of boxing. They don't have the special effects. They got some good effects, some good stunts, but they don't have the special effects.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, Derrick James, you know, you overachieved. You got your trainer of the year. You deserve that. You were able to get a fight at the undisputed, get one to unified champion. Shoot, you did all right and not so great in boxing. You know, I watched you fight. It wasn't that beautiful. It wasn't beautiful at all, really.
He was decent though. He was what 27-7 or something like that.
Yeah, the fight I watched, you know, he got tired and he was arm punching and he just turned ugly. Like he stopped thinking.
Yeah.
And the pressure, you know, now, you know, he went against Bomac, man, and the three-headed monster and got tore up. Then he went against Canelo and got tore up again.
Another thing I'll be thinking too, like with some of these trainers, I'll be like, man, where did the elite skills come from? Like Derrick James is a fighter that we got a chance to see. It ain't like he was out there looking like Mayweather.
No,
we can look at somebody like Floyd Mayweather Sr., and we can understand why he passing down elite skills. Look where he come from. He learned the shoulder roll from Dale Williams from Detroit. Just that whole region is a boxing region. That's why I was talking about Texas earlier. Texas really been overachieving because Texas is football country. It's not boxing country. Texas ain't like the Midwest and the East Coast. Even the West Coast. West Coast got a lot of fucking history as far as having good fighters. A lot of the Black Murderers Row fighters, they was stationed out there in California. You know what I'm saying? But Texas ain't really quite like that. You know what I'm saying? So I always kind of had like my doubts a little bit when the Texas fighters were like really coming up, because I'm just like, this really ain't a boxing region. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of surprising to me. I was happy to see it, but it was still surprising to me though.
Right. Well, shoot, I know it's a football state, you know, but we talking boxing, so I'm gonna get it crunk like this. They want to try to, man, Texas doing their thing. I ain't trying to hear. He said Crawford has a comparable amateur record to the Charlos, but it's layered so much deeper. Yeah, I heard the Kenny Porter story about Crawford, and Trey elaborating on it more. It stopped him from being able to go to the Olympics, which would have unfolded and told so much more to the story of Terence Crawford and his skills. But attitude sometimes messes up your road, but he ended up getting back on the right one. He undisputed 147 and 140.
Yeah, it was actually the Pan American Games.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that same that same tournament that Crawford didn't go to. Porter went to it, and he got knocked out for the first time in his entire boxing career against I can't think of his name right now. Fuck. But yeah, we would have got a chance to see a lot about Terence Crawford, and he might have ended up being like a 4.5 or something on the scale if he got a chance to go compete. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's kind of hard to categorize Crawford, because we didn't get a chance to see him fight international, even though he qualified to do so.
Yeah. My brother always make a joke about Crawford. He called him a little project dude that could fight. Like right now, he proving the facts. He doing his thing. What D-Lo talking about? Did I say what's up to D-Lo and Derek Bailey? What's up, Derek Bailey? Derek James is now. Oh, there go our sis Armin Brown and fell into the house. As always, she say, "Hey Trey X, chat Mars blessings."
My Amazon Angel, what's up with it? Salute Derek Bailey was going down.
He said, "Let me see. I'm making sure."
D-Lo too. If I ain't said what's up to him already.
Yeah, because I think we were just going at it. Not going at it, but into the conversation. He said Jamel didn't lose until he went to James and convinced him that he was a KO artist. He also reached great heights with James. Yeah, but I'm going to have to label Derek James with the evidence that's been laid out in front of me and hard to combat. I'm going to have to go ahead and lay it out and say Derek James is at least, if I had to grade it, because we grade hard around here, I would say a C+ trainer.
No, I give him much better than that. I give him like a B+. So often, I think he's a good trainer for what he do, because he's still in relatively good shape. So he the type of trainer that can get out there and run with you. He can get off in there and go rounds and rounds and rounds, holding mitts and stuff like that. A lot of the older, out of shape trainers, they can't do that kind of stuff. So Derek James do come with his advantages. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's a pretty good coach.
Okay, so if we're gonna put the physical in there with it, then okay, I could bump the grade up. I was just thinking about teaching somebody how to win. Giving that knowledge. Hey man, you need to. I don't know. I would love to just be able to sit there and watch one of those great coaches teaching one of those fighters. Man, I would love to just sit there and look and listen.
Another thing too about the heights that his fighters went to. If I look at Jamel, I kind of felt like the 154-pound division was a little overrated. I thought that it was a good division as far as being competitive, because you had a lot of B-level type fighters going against each other. But I didn't look at that strength of schedule and be like, oh man, Jamel is out here beating A-level fighters. He was beating some pretty good, decent fighters, but it ain't like that division just full of A-level people like lightweight or something like that. It's a good division because it's a lot of B-level fighters going against each other in competitive fights. But ain't no A-level fighters in that division. And even the ones that kind of like set themselves apart from the other people, like Jamel. Jamel, it was plenty times in fights where I'll be scratching my head wondering what this man is doing, because I felt like he was doing stupid shit sometimes. We thought Sebastian Fundora was kind of setting himself apart. What did he do? Go out there and get his ass knocked the fuck out. Even this kid, Jesus Ramos, I had said he might be next up. He go out there and get outboxed by Lupin. I still got to go back and watch it again, but he ain't go out there and dominate the fight like everybody thought he was. It seemed like can't none of these dudes just completely set themselves apart where I'm an A-level fighter and these other dudes are B-level fighters. They all about B- to B+ level fighters.
I guess that's what's making that division have such an allure to it, because the fighters are so close to each other. Nobody has come along yet and set themselves apart where you say, man, he whooping everybody and he outskilling them. Jamel, in his biggest fights, I felt like his biggest fights were pretty close. The Lubin fight was a surprise knockout. Nobody really saw that coming. But Castano and Tony Harrison, in which to me, Tony gave the second fight away by having mental lapses.
And also the division doesn't have a lot of guys that's like 5s and 4.5s on the scale. Like all them dudes that was good. Erickson Lubin 3.5, 143-7. We could look at J. Rock Williams, he was 77-10. We could look at Tony Harrison, he was 75-12. Both of those guys are 3.5s. I think Tony Harrison might be a 3 actually. But they ain't got no 4.5s and 5s. They ain't got no Olympic gold medalists up there. They ain't got no AIBA World Championship gold medalists. They ain't got no Pan American Games. They ain't got none of that kind of shit. All them dudes pretty much fought on the national level, and they got up to be about a 3.5, but they ain't got no just straight elites in that division.
You're right. I agree with you 100%. I'm laughing at D-Lo. Oh, I almost typed Derrick James. Okay, my bad. I didn't see it. My fault, pimping. 154 was a solid division because they were mixing it up, but it's saturated with B's, B minus, and C fighters. Laura was the crown jewel of the division for years. Her was an anomaly until his chin fell.
And Laura is the one that you can put in that category. Because like what we talking about last night, Laura won gold medal in 2005 at the AIBA World Championships. He had like over 300 amateur fights, all kind of stuff. So he the best skilled fighter in that to come along in a long time in that division. But the rest of them guys, man, they just some pretty good fighters. They not just straight elite fighters. And then look, a lot of them done already took a loss too. So you know when a fighter take a loss, they willing to fight anybody. So that's what that division is. A lot of good fighters, they done took losses, so they ain't trying to protect no O. And even the fighters that do got an O, they still willing to get out there. Like the Charlos, when they fought against J-Rock, when they fought against Erickson Lubin, those were all undefeated fighters at the time. We had Jesus Ramos go out there and fight against Joey Spencer. They was undefeated, decent little amateur backgrounds and stuff. So it's been a division full of people that's willing to fight. You know what I'm saying? Even if they ain't just elite, they willing to fight. And that's what made it a great division.
That's what got it pumping right now, long as they keep it going on. So, and I could say, you know, the fans, they kind of gravitate to it because it gives you a better argument, I guess. You know, you really don't have that elite fighter floating around in there. Everybody is battling it out. You know, you putting your money on who you think can outdo the next man. And some of it's hard. Rarely is any of it just top-notch skills. I think Tony Harrison, in my opinion, was the best boxer out of all of them when it came down to it. But like I said, he was mentally flawed because he wouldn't stay concentrating.
Well, if we're going to look at the division in its totality, like in the last decade or something, I would say Erislandy Lara and Demetrius Andrade was the most skilled fighters to come through the division. I guess we can throw Canelo off in there too. You know what I'm saying? He's a pretty good fighter. But I think that Andrade was on another level. And I put like in the tier right behind him, I put Lara. Lara was a bad man too.
Okay. So add those two names, it still kind of fall in the same way. J-Rock was doing his thing for a little bit. He surprised us with his chin not being worth man, his chin is not worth anything. I don't know how he even got that far with that chin.
It's hard to say that though. When he got what person that knocked him out they couldn't punch? He got knocked out by Jamal Charlo, who was a fucking wrecking machine at that weight class. I think did he get stopped by Jason Rosario?
Rosario stopped him after he beat Hurd.
Jason Rosario, one of the hardest punchers to come along in the division in a long time. That's a straight up power puncher. So whenever you see people get knocked out, don't just say he ain't got a chin. Look at the type of punchers he been getting knocked out by. Like, let's say you got somebody, they fight Julian Jackson, the Hawk. Julian Jackson knock you out, or Deontay Wilder. Does that mean that you don't have a good chin, your chin ain't worth a fuck? Or does that mean that you fighting people that can really punch? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you would have picked two of the hardest punching mofos running around. You talking about getting my chin punched to the back of my head. Big brother fell into the house.
OG, what's up?
Okay, maybe I'm quoting it wrong because, you know, I see him get loopy with I just felt like when he beat Hurd and he was taking what Hurd got, I expected more from him. I guess that was me. I expected old J-Rock to show something.
Well, that's why I got the scale, man. Them motherfuckers ain't but threes and shit on the scale. And we expecting them to go to the moon.
Well, see, I didn't know about the scale when I don't even think you had the scale when he fought Herb. I don't
know,
think you had.
but we got the knowledge now. So
Oh yeah, now. But back then, you know, it was like, oh man, this J-Rock dude is nice. He just stopped Herb. Herb is the myth in 154. People still trying to figure out how he making 154. I thought he'd knock this man off. He looked good doing it, showed hard and everything. And then the very next fight against Banana Rosario, it was like a whole nother guy.
Yeah, I mean, they be having different reasons for stuff like that. Motherfucker might not get up for the fight. They might underestimate their opponent or something like that. But I still wouldn't label him a chinny fighter because I only see him getting hurt by fighters that can really punch. You see what I'm saying? If he start getting hurt by people that can't punch, well, then we'll say chinny. But shit, them motherfuckers, he getting hurt by can punch.
Okay, my bad. I'm gonna let J-Rock make it. He not chinny. I'm not gonna give you that. Yeah, my bad, D-Lo. I ain't mean to say banana boat, just banana. That's who he is. And yeah, you right. Herb did emerge from the Laura fight because he just was able to keep hammering on her, Laura. Just kept hammering on Laura till Laura just broke. He didn't outskill Laura or nothing. He just kept being able to just keep coming. That big ass pressure, or the tall pressure. You say how you say it, Trey? That aggressive,
tall pressure fighter.
Yeah, he just kept that on Laura, and because Laura was all right at first, and then he started getting tired. You can't keep moving and punching and defending yourself, and this dude just steady coming and he eating punches with his face. His defense sucked.
Yep, and plus he was a relatively fresh fighter because his amateur record only like 28-12 or something like that. So he only got like 40 amateur fights. When he fought against somebody like Laura, he only had like 20 professional fights. That's a lot of tread he had on them tires. He a big guy. He could have fought at light heavyweight or some shit probably. And yeah, that's what beat Laura. If they were straight the same size and he didn't have all those physical advantages, Laura would have styled on his ass.
Yeah, I think so. Laura versus Herb was an even fight. The KO, the knockdown was the difference.
It was some people that felt like Laura still won.
Man, I don't know. When I watched it, I just felt like at some point Laura Laura kept putting up a fight. It's just like he started taking too much punishment. I think that's what gave him the loss. The knockdown helped for sure, but it got to a point where he just was taking the punishment. His defense wasn't holding up or nothing. He showed a lot. He was showing hard. But like you said, if they was the same size, I think he'd have beat her ass.
Yeah, man. I wasn't a believer in her for a long time. When he fought against Tony Harrison, I had bet some money on Harrison, man. I had got some pretty good odds. I was at a poker game and I told everybody what my bet was, and we was all playing poker and watching the fights. Everybody thought I was a genius. Because Tony Harrison came out there and was lighting his ass up. And then he started slowing down in the second half of the fight. That's the way he used to do. That's how he lost to Willie Nelson. So he went out there, got tired, and then he got caught with an uppercut, and Herb got him out of there. It was another fight Herb had. I want to say he fought against, was it Austin Trout? It was somebody, man, that had a skill surplus over him. And I didn't bet this time, but I did pick against Herb, and Herb still went out there and beat me just with that physicality. And then I finally said, fuck it, if you can't beat him, join him. And I did pick him to beat Laura. But each time he was at a skill deficit, though.
Just imposed that size.
Yeah.
And was able to eat punches. But J-Rock put him in his place. One of the nicest moves I saw when he threw that little show, you know how you bump him with that shoulder and then catch him with that hook. Man, that was so nice when he did that. He skimmed him over the top of the head. That's when he dropped Herb.
Yeah, that's what James Toney was teaching Caleb Plant.
Push off shoulder move.
Yeah, push off with the shoulder, come back with that right hand, bring back the hook.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I see him do that, when I see that go on in the ring, man, that looks so live to me, especially when it worked. It give him just that enough separation that I'm like, ooh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Man, that'd be so nice to me. It's just so many things that they do out there that let me calm myself down.
Yeah, that's the mark of a good trainer when they doing stuff like that. Look how Shakur Stevenson's grandfather got him looking. Wally Moses out there looking like a skilled savant out there. You know what I'm saying? That's the mark of a great coach.
The boy is looking good. I can't wait to see this fight though, man. I can't wait to see this fight with De Los. How you say his name?
De Los Santos.
De Los Santos. I don't know why I can't say that man's name, but I can't wait to see that fight. I can't wait to see that fight. I think that's gonna be a good fight.
I do too.
It's gonna it's gonna give him a chance to go ahead and show what I think he could be. You know, it's just gonna give him a chance because this dude he fast. I was watching him. I was watching the fight against some Spanish guy. I can't think of the Spanish guy's name. But he went out there and he was handling old boy. He was able to get in and out the way Shakur get in and out. He throwing combinations, but they look like they power combinations, if that's a such thing. It looked like this dude, he looked like he ready. His defense looked decent, but that's because he was just more athletic than the guy that was messing with him. The dude football, he didn't stand a chance keeping up with De Los Santos. He was putting hands all on that dude.
Yeah, you talking about Joseph Adorno. He looked outstanding in that fight. And also, you got to remember, the last person to beat Shakur Stevenson in the boxing ring was a southpaw. That was Robeisy Ramirez at the 2016 Olympics. De Los Santos is a southpaw with a deep amateur background and stuff. The lane's going to be wide open. This might be a different type of fight than what Shakur is used to. That's why it's so intriguing to me. Shakur should be the favorite. I'm picking him to win. But I do think it's a chance that we might see something interesting in this fight.
D-Lo just say Edwin since you're struggling, sir. You can forget it. You know what? I would just let you ride today. It's all right. His length may bother Shakur. That's what D-Lo say. Man, I don't know. I'm expecting Shakur to come out there and put on a great performance. That's what I'm expecting him to do. But I'm also expecting De Los Santos to come out there and put on his best performance to make this be. Actually, this will tell me a lot about Shakur if he pull this fight off, because De Los Santos kind of rugged too. I don't think if he come to fight like he fought against the old boy, it's going down.
Yeah, and his best work was against. Well, some of his best work was against the southpaw. Like when he went out there and he fought Valenzuela, I think that's his name. I can't think of the dude's name. I'm talking about the one that went out there and lost a controversial decision to Little B-Hop in his last fight. He like 50-5 amateur record. He won the ringside national championships. I can't think of his name, man.
B-Hop's last fight that he had?
Yeah. The one he was getting knocked down in. But
man, I can't think of the guy's name.
That's De Los Santos.
El
Rayo. That's De Los Santos' best win. And that was against a fellow southpaw. So that's what got me kind of very interested, because it's the skills, the amateur background, and we got southpaw and southpaw. And from my experience in watching boxing, southpaw and southpaw can be a little bit more unpredictable.
It is the one thing that everybody have difficulty getting ready for, because you don't see it every day. He says Shakur is regularly fighting fighters that were top tier amateurs. His skills are staying sharp and he's regularly improving. Like I said, I'm just ready I'm excited about that fight. That's one fight that I'm looking forward to seeing.
I've been fighting top level amateurs, but the only southpaw I can think of Jamel Herring, he was only 85-15. He fought in the Marines. He was like I think he might have fought on the national level. But them other top level fighters that Shakur been fighting, they all been orthodox. Like we think about Oscar Valdez. He had 204 amateur fights. He was an Olympian and stuff. Orthodox. We think about Robson Conceição, 4, 5, 15, Olympic gold medalist. I called him a silver last night, but he was a gold medalist and orthodox fighter. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of nobody else. Maybe Joey Gonzalez. I think he was a 3.5 on the scale. Orthodox fighter. Most of the good guys that he fighting, they're orthodox. So this will get the chance for me to see him against a top level, international level fighter who's a southpaw.
Right. D-Lo saying, wait, okay, I read that from Hyphy. That's a big difference for sure, southpaw versus southpaw. Who wins between De Los Santos and William Zepeda right now? This is Hyphy's question. In fact, skilled southpaw versus skilled southpaw. Okay, we got all that, D-Lo.
That's a good fight because William Zepeda is a 4 on the scale. Him and De Los Santos, they both 4s. William Zepeda, he actually fought at the AIBA World Championships and he won a couple of fights. So I got to give him a 4. So that'll be a very competitive fight, man. That might could go either way. It seemed like I'll probably go with Zepeda because he might be a little bit bigger than Santos because I saw De Los Santos, he weighed into a 135 fight at 133. So that makes me think that he's probably not the biggest for this weight class. So I'll probably go with Zepeda.
Take the skills and the size difference. That makes sense. He said, Haney Nuthugger say Shakur is a betless fight who hasn't fought anybody, shaking my mother effing head. I wish Zepeda would relieve us of Pitbull's annoying ass. Who is Pitbull calling out? Still trying to wait for the Tank fight?
That's what I've been hearing.
Hey, move on, dude. Go on to fight somebody else. That dude ain't finna fight you right now.
I don't even want to see the fight. I'm not even interested in that shit.
Because I don't think it'll be a close fight. He outboxed you with one hand. He beat you with one hand.
I mean, we need to see Tank ass in there with some good fighters. Hell, that motherfucker's the best fighter he done fought is still the guy he fought at 130. I can't think of his name. The dude that could switch. He can go southpaw and orthodox. He a 4.5 on my scale. He fairly recently, he had a fight against I can't think of nobody's name. That hard hitting lightweight. I think he from Ghana. He hard as a motherfucker. They fought a draw.
I'm sorry.
I can't even think his fucking name. Well, we need to see Tank in there with some good fighters too. Yeah, Pedraza. D-Lo got me. Yeah, Jose Pedraza or some shit like that. That's the best fighter that Tank them fought. He needs to get in there and fight some more good fighters too.
Yeah, it's time for him to start stepping in the ring, especially since he's bumping off the heated face of boxing.
Oh, I forgot. I got to give him some credit on Ryan Garcia. I got to give him some on that. Even though Ryan Garcia was coming off a year layoff, I want to see him fight some good fighters that ain't coming off no layoffs and none of that shit.
That layoff rears his ugly head again.
Always.
Because we were speaking about Jamel and Tony Harrison in the second fight. And he made me realize that Harrison came in off of a layoff.
Oh, yep. He did. You talking about for the rematch?
For the rematch. And I'm like, man, that damn layoff be popping up out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yep, ducking ass waiting for a point in this rematch. And it's beltless fighter. Okay, well, I went up to make sure. I read it right. You said betless fight. I thought you were saying that nobody would bet on that fight. It wouldn't make no money. That's what I thought you were saying. But okay, your typos came out all right, though. You all right. Was versus Leo Santa Cruz when Leo went to Wonderland. Tank's most competitive fight was against versus Leo.
Well, Leo did have an amateur background. He was 148-7. He was just so small, man. He started fighting at like 112. So
Oh yeah, paper bag.
yeah, he too small.
So shoot, see that fight coming, and then your fight that you want to see is in December, Bam Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite fight of the year.
Yeah, you said that one coming up in December. Ryan's supposed to be fighting in December.
Got a potential upset on the books.
With
Derrick
Ryan.
James better have him ready.
Yeah, he got
ready.
time. He got time now, so you better go on to concentrate, or his stock is surely going down.
Matter
But
of
I
fact,
can
I think
see
I'm taking Duarte.
over Ryan.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if this is the type of opponent that you want to go against in your first fight with a new trainer. Because he still got to learn the Derrick James style. And when I see them hitting mitts and stuff, he don't look 100% comfortable with it yet. The way that Derrick James got him catching shots and stuff like that. He
Right.
trying to make him fight a more conventional type of style. And it seemed like Ryan, he not comfortable with it yet. So he gonna go off in there with a tough fighter like Oscar Duarte. The guy he got a stoppage victory over Alex Martin. Alex Martin had like 200 amateur fights out of Philadelphia. I think he was a 6-time national champion, and he got stopped by Oscar Duarte. So this dude can fight, and you gonna go fight him in your first fight with a new trainer. And I think, yeah, that ain't it. I don't think that's a good spot.
You don't think that's a good look right now?
I mean, the look ain't bad, but I don't think it's a good spot to go out there and win. And this dude been active. He been fighting. He ain't coming off no layoff.
Yeah, Ryan last fight was Tank, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's not that bad, but he only had like one fight in the last 2 years or some shit like that. He ain't just been real active.
You're right, because he had a layoff before he went in with Tank.
Exactly. And he coming off a performance that can hurt his confidence. That's why he changed coaches. So he felt like he needed some better coaching. He might have some question marks in his head. I don't know if this is the type of fight that you want to go in with question marks.
Huh.
And like I said last night, he have problems with fighters that get in your chest. And that's how Duarte is. So we're going to see how that's going to go.
That's a lot. That's a lot stacking up right there that you putting out. That's a lot going against the young man. Because I don't see him liking nobody being in his chest.
No.
And when I see, I've always, you've always heard me say, I think that when I saw Rolly give him problems in training, I was like, Ryan don't like to get punched on.
Yeah.
If he can't catch you with that speed.
He got somebody coming to punch him this time, and he got a pretty good knockout percentage. I want to say the dude got like 21 knockouts out of 26 wins or something like that, so he can punch.
Damn, it's looking bad because I could see him getting knocked out.
I can see it too, man. They all happy about it. I know him and De La Hoya, they done went back and forth a little bit. De La Hoya might be punishing his ass. Like, okay, you want to talk all that shit? All right, I got something for you. We're going to put you off in there with Oscar Duarte Gerardo in your next fight. Yeah, sink or swim. Go out there and do what you got to do. And we promote Duarte. Duarte Gerardo. We promote him with Golden Boy Promotion. So if he go out there and win, we ain't tripping. That's in-house. So go out there and do what you got to do.
Huh. Dilo say, isn't Cordelia about to come back in action?
I don't know, man. He's a good fighter to watch, though. He went out there and won us some money and shit, too, in his last fight when he fought that Southpaw.
Oh, here to Cordelia.
Yeah.
Anybody make me some money? Here. Hyphy says Leah Woods versus Josh Warrington. Fight this weekend. Thoughts?
Action. blood and guts. Both fighters are tough as a motherfucker. Uh, was it Warrington throw a bunch of punches? He like a Harry Greb type fighter. He like a windmill. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go out there throw a bunch of punches. I'm not saying like he throw windmill, but that's what they call Harry Greb.
Oh no. I got what you were saying. I was just imagining the wind blowing, thinking of how many times that blade go around, punches just ha 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 till you get punched so much till you can't figure out when you can return fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Lee Wood though, because Lee Wood got popped. He mean Josh Warrington. He only got 30 amateur fights, and he got a losing record in the amateurs. I want to say he was like 21-10 or some shit. Not 21-10, but 10-21, something like that. Because when he first started, he was losing. He was losing, and then he got on a little old streak where he started winning, and then he turned pro. You know what I'm saying? So he really like an overachiever type of fighter. Yeah, Lee Wood, I just think he's just tough, man. He coming off that big win in the rematch against Mauricio, whatever the fuck his name is. I think he a harder puncher. He done had some experience beating some pretty good guys, like he beat Michael Conlon. I think that's gonna be too much for Josh Warrington.
Well, there you have it, Hyphy. D-Lo say first fight with new trainer, first loss, first KO loss, coming off largest payday. Talking about Ryan. I'm doubtful as to whether Ryan makes it to the fight. He also made it a point to say he asked for Durate. Whatever, man.
Okay, he asked for him, huh?
Yeah, he asked for it.
Okay. Well, he asked for Tank, didn't he?
Sure did. And you see what happened with that. Got knocked down got knocked down and then took a body punch and just said, I can't get up.
Yeah, he might just be a glutton for punishment. He like to get beat on. So let's see.
I thought my man with the slow reaction, glutton for punishment. He just like to get beat on.
Yeah, because he asking for the ass whoopings. He requesting them.
I guess he's trying to show people, at least I wasn't scared to call them out. Okay, but at least be able to scratch one of them when you get out there.
Yeah, he don't believe in no tune-ups or nothing. Fighting Tank off a year layoff. And now he ain't even got no confidence rebuilding. Like sometimes you see a fighter take a loss, they put him off in there with like a Rod Sulker so they can go out there and get some confidence. He ain't even did that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, this dude, he likes to routinely put himself in tough positions.
Dare I say he on his Earl spit shit. I don't need no tune up. I'm ready. It's been a year. You better think about it. I'm good right now. Come on. That's what we need to start telling these kids when they say, "Oh no, I'm ready right now." Hey man, you know you've been out for a minute. You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Because last few times it didn't work out too good for you. Both of y'all was touching the canvas.
Yeah, and other fighters too. It ain't just them.
Exactly. It should be a world-renowned thing for all these fighters. Hey man, if you've been sitting down for longer than 12 months, you might as well go ahead and get in there with a soft touch. Let the people talk bad about you and come on and fight the hard dude after. But if you're trying to jump off the couch and just come on and do it after you've been gone for a year, 15 months, y'all need to stop doing that because it's making you look bad.
You got to do what you got to do. Like, look at Crawford. Crawford went out there and fought the old boy.
Amnesia.
Yep, he went and fought him. Fuck what the people got to say. Everybody complaining, crying. Fuck that. I'm about to go get me a tune-up fight and stay sharp. You can look at it was another fighter. Fuck, I can't even think of who that was. But you get the point that I'm trying to make. Shit, you got to do what you got to do for your career instead of worrying about what everybody think and all that kind of shit. If you need a tune-up, go get you a tune-up.
Yeah, simple as that. Because see what happened to all of them. I can't help it because it's Derrick James on the hook, and his fighters is the ones right now with the most recent layoffs getting beat up. Well, Jamal, he rode his bicycle, backstepped a lot, but Earl got beat up, but he fought. He did what Lions Only didn't do. He fought.
Yep. Look at what Andre Ward did. He came back and he fought that brand, and then he turned. First he fought Sullivan Barrera, that Cuban. Then he fought that brand dude. Then he fought Kovalev. He got himself 2 tune-up fights. You know what I'm saying? Because he coming to win. He come from a coach that understand the old school, and they understand that you got to stay sharp. So he got him 2 tune-up fights before he fought against Kovalev. These fighters today, they would have just jumped straight to the Kovalev fight. Wouldn't have got their ass kicked.
Got knocked their head right off. Say Ryan likes for his fights to resemble pad work or light sparring. And he agreed with you with taking Woods. So does Derek Bailey. I think Ryan is lying about asking for Durute, but maybe he is that confident or arrogant. Earl don't believe in pay cuts, which means solid names each time out. Earl should have took a fight around the same time Crawford did. Yeah, I agree. Hindsight is always 20/20. You know, it sounded good when he was saying that I don't take tune-ups, I don't take, I'm going right back at it. You know, he was able to prove it a couple of times against some not so elite fighters. And when he went up against somebody who was studying the game, who been boxing way longer at least 7 years longer than he has, at least, he went out there and they couldn't get over the hump. I tried to say he took an equilibrium shot and you can't fight back from that. But the fact is, he went out there and he got beat. He put himself in a position to get hit where his equilibrium can be thrown off. And that, in turn, has to be blamed on the trainer for not correcting it because you see it. Okay. Crawford isn't a great fighter. He is a great athlete. We all know that athleticism is fleeting. We saw what happened to the great fighter. I won't say his name. When his athleticism left, D. James. You just had to put that so I could actually say some extra stuff against Tebow ABC.
I disagree though. I don't see Crawford living off athleticism. I see him living off skills.
Yeah, I see skills too. D-Lo being funny because that's what Derrick James was saying before the fight about him being his athleticism. What's going to happen when it started fleeing? Like he was expecting Crawford to not be so athletic when he fought Spence. He was in somebody asked him a question in one of those interviews and he said something to that nature.
Well, hell, even that's a stupid take because if you feel like he's such a superior athlete and you got a fighter that's pretty goddamn slow, let's think about it. Earl Spence ain't no speed demon out there. Well, hell, that's a mismatch. Shit, I really think Boots will go out there and beat the brakes off Earl. I just think Earl he ain't sharp enough and he's too slow. This motherfucker Boots has been fighting since he was 5-6 years old. And he fast. And he sharp. I think he'll go out there and kick Earl ass, man.
Who? Well, like I said, I think the allure to Derrick James and all his greatness was that he got 2 guys that started boxing kind of late, early at 15, Frank at 19.
Yep.
And then they look at what Earl achieved under you say under Derrick James, but really they both achieved it. I guess Derrick James' name blew up with Earl Spence's because of what Earl accomplished. And because James is the one who was at the helm, he got to ride with it. It's kind of like what people used to say that Barry Switzer inherited the Cowboys team that won the Super Bowl. Kind of the same thing with Derrick James getting his Earl Spence dad asking Derrick James to work on his boy, and his boy just having grit, hard, and knowing how to fight. Took the basic stuff that he taught him and parlayed it into 3 belts.
And at the same time, Derrick James did help Earl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, Earl used to be even more basic than what he is now. Earl didn't even want to work with Derrick James at first. His dad had to pay him to work with Derrick James. Earl had a tournament. Derrick James came and watched them fight, and he watched it with his dad. Earl kept doing the same thing in a row. Double jab, left hand. Double jab, left hand. Double jab, left hand. And he told his dad, he said, well, damn, he pretty good fighter. Got a lot of tenacity and stuff, but why he keep doing the same thing in a row? And that's how he started working with Earl, because after he had that conversation, his dad went to Earl, asked him to work with Derrick James. He said he didn't want to. So he said, I'll pay you to work with this man. And that's how him and Derrick James got together. And he made him a more complete fighter instead of just a double jab left hand fighter. So even though Earl is pretty basic, Derrick James still helped him though.
Yeah, and that's why I say that he got a guy, because you said they some guys they got talent. They got talent. It just got molded late. And because Earl achieved so fast, it blew Derrick James' name up as trainer so quick that fans they just latched on like, oh man, he got to be a great trainer. They kind of put cables on it, as you and D-Lo would say.
That's D-Lo thing. What OG say? So you will go for Boots, little bro, if him and Earl fight? I'm not really saying who I'm going for. I hope Earl win the fight, but I'm not gonna be picking with my heart no more. I just got 12th place in Sean Ross when I could have easily been top 7, top 8 at least, because I keep on going out there picking with my heart. I'm sick of that shit. I done had enough of that. I'm square business. I done had my little times on YouTube where I do that shit. Like when I took Deontay Wilder over Tyson Fury in a rematch, knowing that in the history of boxing, the more complex fighter normally wins the rematch. But I took Deontay Wilder anyway. I even took Deontay Wilder in the third fight. After what I saw in the second fight, I still took Deontay Wilder again and ate some more crow. I'm tired of that shit, man. I ate crow with Josh Taylor over Teofimo Lopez when I kept on saying that this was a bad spot for Josh Taylor coming off a layoff and changing to a new trainer, all this kind of stuff. I still picked him. I picked Cool Boy Steph over Inoue. Even though Cool Boy Steph came off a 13-month layoff and all this shit, I still picked him. Like I'm not picking with my heart no more, man. What my head is telling me is what I'm going with.
What the statistics and the numbers say.
And what my eyes say too.
Hard. You pick it with that. But I can't blame you though, bro, because Deontay Wilder, I picked him in the second fight. Picked him in the third fight. So you weren't eating crow by yourself on that one. Earl Spence coming off the long layoff. But still, I said, I'm going to ride with Earl. Knowing that all the signs was pointing against it. And then for y'all to sit there and I can't believe we literally said that this is what Joseph Brown said. If Crawford is on his catch and shoot shit, ain't no way Earl can win.
Ain't no way the man can win.
That's what he said. That's one Earl Spence fan. Then I hear D-Lo and DeCane break down the fact that, hey, we seen Crawford practicing this power jab and stepping off. And then they even went so far as to say we saw Earl, he was working the jab, but it wasn't, it was just a regular old boom, boom, and go to the body a couple of times. He wasn't really moving his feet. He just stepping the same way he always stepped. Didn't let none of that ring in our heads. Just, it's Earl. It's Earl. Crawford we let ourselves be blind. I know I let myself be blinded to all the facts that was presenting themselves in that fight. The human in me said, we ride with what we ride with, and that's that. And that's what I did and lost.
Yep. I'm with you. I'm sick of that shit.
So now it's gonna have to be straight. Let me just look at this for what it is, and just straight down the middle. Okay, this what I see happening. That's where I'm going. I don't care how much I like you as an athlete, as a fighter, what you said, what you did. I don't give a damn about none of that. When it comes down to seeing what's what, if it ain't in your favor, I'm going against you.
Oh yeah, and by the way, the new season of the Champ Raw start this week. You gonna get back in there?
You know what? I think I probably pull some numbers to see what happened. Yeah, I can peek it out.
That's what you were saying. You were saying that you're gonna get back in there next season. So next season is here.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and dance. Cause D'Lo stole my damn top 10 by beating me by 2 points. Scroungy ass. Came out of nowhere too. I was like, what the, I didn't even know he was close like that. Next thing you know, I'm in 12th place.
Yeah, I gotta have me a good showing this season. I'm trying to go win first, so I'm fired up about it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just see what I got. Let me stretch these old bones. Get ready to see what I can bring to the table.
Almond Brown about to have her first full season. She gonna be beating a bunch of niggas.
Oh yeah, I heard that she been doing her thing. Beat Gia Cole up. Beat Eric R up.
I think she gonna be in the top 20. That's my prediction. She gonna be in the top 20. And I ain't help her with now pick. Like literally not one pick have I helped her with. All I did, I gave her a little bit of advice when she first started. Because like when I was turning the picks in, I saw that she had like a lot of decisions. She didn't really have no knockout. So I told her to try to be a little bit more balanced with that. And after that shit, she did what she did. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. But good for me. Good for sis going out there doing her thing, having a great showing.
Yeah, it's all
go
fun and games talking noise when you're on the outside. She might go in there and whoop your ass, OG.
Oh man, wait a minute. He just brushed my shirt off real quick. I was about to say something to D-Lo. You just threw that curveball like that. I'm like, damn, where'd that come from?
While I'm talking, she might beat me.
Yeah.
But,
But I'm not coming in there trying to get beat by nobody. Yeah, let me just put it out there, especially D-Lo. Let me say that like that. Get your season together, homeboy, because I'm coming. Stole my top 10 spot last season. So
how you steal your top 10 spot when then now one of y'all make top 10?
Yeah, he at the end of it, he was in 10th place. I was in 12th.
Nah, hell nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He didn't make no top 10. I think you was like number 14 and he was like number 13 or some shit.
No, I was number 12 and he was better than me. That's the last numbers I remember Champ Ross putting in because I was like, damn, I missed the top 10 because that's what I was fighting for.
I don't know about that one, OG.
You're gonna have to check the stats, baby.
You have to go check the stats. I'm pretty sure that nobody make the top 10 except for it seemed like it was at least one person on the corner that made top 10, but I don't know
what place you came in that season, me and you stole my spot, man. He pushed me back by 2. He gonna be quiet now.
You got that 0.5 off your back though.
Oh yeah. I was most definitely seriously about too many people trying to bother me about it, and then they gonna let people come in. I'm like, why that dude that was the other day? Why he ain't a 0.5 with all the wrong picking he doing? Yeah, that's all right though. I turned that around, basically. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Start getting these picks. Salute Eric on the house.
What's up, bro? I'm going down.
Man, him been battling on that chessboard.
Got me a little bit over an hour left till my birthday hit.
I'm looking at that.
About to be 39 in this motherfucker.
Oh man, come on, about to be 39.
Yeah, I'm getting up there.
I can't stand talking to you youngsters, man. Every time y'all say y'all birthday and be like, I'm getting up there, I'm like, dude, stop it. You still got a little ways to go.
Shit, nigga, I'm an OG in the game my own self. Shit, it's a lot of niggas that don't make it to 39.
You right. But now that you've made it and you're part of the oh so many that has passed that's at that number and passed it, you have helped break another statistic.
Yep, the average life expectancy for the ancient Egyptians was 38. Shit, I'm past that.
Look, I ain't gonna reach back to get OG status. He said, I'm not living some of the old Egyptians. That's a good reach right there. That means people like myself is damn near walking monuments.
Yeah.
How dare you speak to me in that tone?
Hey, man, just a bunch of wisdom. That's all it is.
Hold on, man. Give me a second. What's up, Angel?
Hello.
What's up, man?
Hey, Tori. I'm trying to clean this coffee machine, but it keeps saying heating hot water. You won't I'll press cleaning, but it goes to heating hot water, and then after that, it'll reset back to the option of the size of the cup.
Okay, that means it needs to heat up. So let it alone while you go ahead and do everything else, and then do it later. Let it give it a chance to heat the water up.
Oh, okay, got you. All right, appreciate it.
All right.
Later, man.
Yeah. Lord help me. That's that Circle K. Dude, damn man, be killing me.
Yeah.
Killing me. Let me see. Wait, what's that? Trey, let's hit that 39 rep superset circuit to bring it in. Damn.
I'm always gonna stay on my workout, man. I'm really kind of slowed down right now though, because I hurt my damn knee some kind of way. What'd you say?
Getting out the bed.
No, I hurt my left hip flexor when I was young, and I think that should have made me like my body be kind of compensating for it, and I think that should have led to some strain on my knee like over time. So I don't know what the fuck going on with my shit. I just been pretty much working up a body. Got my ab wheel, get on my push-ups, pull-ups, all that kind of shit. I can jump rope too. I just can't. I can't get out there and do my sprints and shit like I like to.
Right. I've been having a slight hip problem too, but mine didn't start until a couple of months ago. I think I can still do some jump ropes. But I ain't finna run nowhere, man. I ain't running across the street no more. I'm done running.
Yeah.
I do a power walk. You know what I'm saying? I walk up and down the block real fast, but I'm just like, what I'm running for? If at this age, it's time for me to stay in ground. All right? So if it's going down, I'm gonna walk fast to the spot. If you still there, it's gonna be some trouble. That's all I can tell you.
Ain't no wrong with a good walk anyway.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of old folks doing it. It's kind of funny because I'm like, the people that I'm like, they old, bro. And they walking. I'm like, is that gonna be me? Just out here walking up and down the block, trying to get it together, keep it together. 39, man. 39. So what you gonna do?
I ain't really had nothing special planned. I was thinking about doing my damn trivia tomorrow.
Your trivia.
Yeah,
39. No, that's the one before you hit 20 twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got, it's time to start getting ready to start putting make these numbers mean. So you about to hit 20 twice, baby. What's up?
All day. Yeah.
That's an accomplishment right there. You've already been 16 twice.
Yeah.
18.
Well, I'd have been 19 twice.
Look at you. You go. I'm not being funny. I just like, I'm excited. Your birthday finna come up. You finna be 39, bro. 39. I know that I'm making it a big deal, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
I'm trying to have a follow-up week on these damn football picks. We had a good week last week. Hopefully we can find a good boxing bet and get some momentum. That's what I got my mind on.
Hey, I'm all for it. I'm just sitting back thinking about going to Cabo. Eric R took a vacation out that way, man. He gonna tell me all about what to look for when I go out there. I can't wait. Big bro say, bro was a deer for real. Run his ass off. Yeah, I'm done with that running stuff, bro. I ain't in a hurry no more. Say, I am happy. Lubin won. I'm shocked I still got 122 with all the fights. I got wrong. I ain't see Barrios beating up Ugas though. I saw Barrios beating Ugas. I saw that.
I made the prediction on our channel.
You sure did.
Yeah. I picked him on the channel, Ross, and everything.
Ugas had been out for a minute and he was beat up. After 24, they all a big deal in my opinion. I don't know. Once 25 hit, that's when I really started saying birthdays mean something. So I started trying to make identifying cases for the certain years, saying, man, I did this twice already. And that's how the old people be thinking, man, I did that 3 times already. You trying to tell me something, man? You don't know what you talking about, man. I couldn't stand when they used to tell me stuff like that when I was younger. The milk behind the ear. You still smell breast milk like Similac. First of all, I ain't drink no damn Similac. I was breastfed, punk.
Yeah.
Man, my job finna get so easy, Trey. Hate to take it there, but the lady that I've been fighting with trying to get the transfer away from, they transferring her. I'm happy for her. She gone. She gonna go make her money over there, and maybe my store, the people will start being happy. They'll start working now.
Yeah. I saw Hyphy said he didn't know that the NFL had so many black starting quarterbacks until last Sunday. Yep.
Are you serious? They start taking over. The black quarterback. When did they really start getting heavy in the league? Not too long after Michael Vick. Once Michael Vick hit, and then McNabb and what's the young man that got killed?
Steve McNair.
McNair, him. Once they start bubbling up, black quarterbacks start just being a thing. It's just they're there. That position is they play that position now.
Yeah, but it's on a whole nother level than that shit now, though. Like even the number one quarterback coming out in the next draft is black. Caleb Williams coming out of USC. But right now we got Richardson off in with the Colts. We got the kid from Ohio State with Houston right now. Can't think of his name. CJ Stroud. We got Lamar Jackson with Baltimore. We got the kid Geno Smith out of West Virginia. He played for the Seattle Seahawks. We got Dak Prescott for Dallas. We got Patrick Mahomes. I was just about to say Patrick Mahomes. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, but that's a pretty good chunk.
Yeah, that is. And what I was saying is, that they kind of broke that stereotype a minute ago. It's not like when Randall Cunningham was quarterback or Doug Williams when he won Washington, they Super Bowl. It wasn't like that where he won a Super Bowl and then the next year he traded. I'm still baffled by that.
I think like it might have been maybe one more or something like that. But yeah, they definitely making their presence felt. Deion Sanders' son, he gonna go to the NFL probably like not this year, but next year or something like that. So he gonna be another one. He gonna be a high draft pick.
Yeah, I think so. And I seen that what's the guy with the green eyes? He usually do sports talk. He kind of heavy set. I can't remember his name for Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock. This dude, it seems like every time, and I have to say it like this: when a black athlete is doing a thing, this dude comes out of the woodworks and got something negative to draw down on them about. Now, this man is trying to tear down on Deion Sanders, talking about Deion Sanders as a disruptor. I'm like, well, that's what he's been doing his whole time in the sports industry. And you hating on the fact that because he made the statement that we both 50 and he act like this and I act like that. And I'm like, and that's why we know him and nobody really knows you until you pop up and you start hating on one of these black men or black women because they're a little outspoken, but they getting the job done.
Yeah. D-Lo talking about Kyler Murray, that's another one. Even he hurt right now, but the backup, the guy that's playing right now, he come from Tennessee. His last name is Dobbs. He playing some pretty good football right now. We also got Tua Tagovailoa for Miami. He come from Alabama. We also got the kid in Philadelphia that come from he started Jalen Hurts. He was with Alabama, then he went to Oklahoma. So don't some more black quarterbacks. Yeah, we got a bunch of fucking black quarterbacks here. It seems like half the motherfuckers black now.
Well, it go back to, I can't remember what the old man says. Two old men that said something along the same line. One said it about basketball, the league turned black, and the white players just got pushed out or in coaching or owning. And that's the same thing with football. The only stronghold that they got now, the good old boys, is the owner position. They even if you give them enough time, the coaching spots will be taken over too fully, not just here and there. The coaching spots will be held strongly, and things will start looking different. Even though I still can't watch football because they're not letting them just play football. I don't know what they really playing.
Well, they playing. People be saying that shit, but it's really not as bad as what people make it out to be. Like I'm a person that look at numbers, and we routinely have teams that's giving up less than 0.3 points per play. That means if the motherfuckers run 70 plays, they give up less than 21 points a game. That's really not that bad. People making it seem like every fucking game is 49 to 42 or some shit. Like the defenses are still finding ways to get out the field. You know what I'm saying? So that's just an exaggeration. Sometimes you do see a play, like you might see a sack or something, and it might be a roughing the passer call that you don't like, but it's not as frequent as people make it out to be. They got some more because they talking about the Panthers quarterback. I can't think of his name. The one come from Alabama. They talked about Russell Wilson out there in Denver. That's what Eric Carr say. Deshaun Watson. Yep, that's another one because he quarterback for Cleveland. Yeah, shit, like half the quarterbacks in the league are black now.
D-Lo going back to our points. He said MZ was sitting at number 10. I was at number 15 going into the final week. I finished 13 and he got 14. That's what happened?
That's what I said it was.
Okay. So I was at 10 for a second. Oh yeah, I got to come on and get that.
Oh yeah, you was in the mix.
I got to come on and get that. I got to come and get that. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all woke me up. It is what it is. I still love y'all and everything, but I'm coming to get that spot. McNair, Culpepper, McNair, Vic was good times in the NFL. Eric, what's going on? I'm glad you're having fun. So they don't make me become wideouts and corner. Oh, they don't make them become wideouts and cornerbacks anymore, changing their damn positions.
Yep.
Yeah, that used to be. Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's why I said it's a different time.
Yeah, but they changed Warren Sapp because that's a good change though. Warren Sapp went from being the tight end to being the Warren Sapp that we all know and love.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that though. He's saying that they used to take quarterbacks and make
them receivers. They leaving them in their positions right now.
Yeah,
and I'm happy for all that. And I guess when I say it take away from me for the football trade, because like when I was young and we played football, it was all about the hit. It was all about hitting. Yeah, you throwing passes and getting good running backs, everything doing that, but it was about the hit. Laying that wood on somebody when they coming across the middle, putting that shoulder in them, and driving them through the ground. It's like I don't get to really see that without somebody throwing a yellow flag now.
They still be out there hitting. I mean, if a motherfucker come in with the crown of their head, I mean, they really trying to protect the players, man. Like, for example, the Seahawks got this safety that came from the New York Jets. His name is Jamal Adams. This motherfucker came out there this past yesterday. That motherfucker went like one series and got put out the game because he leading with his head. He got clipped. And next thing you know, he knocked out the goddamn game. They can make good plays and make good hits without leading with their head. Now, when it comes to putting all your weight on the quarterback, I don't agree with that. I don't like that call, but I don't see it that often. Like when they first changed the rule, I saw it, but the players, they adjusted. And now that the players done adjusted to the new rules, they still able to do some hitting. It's just not the unsafe type shit. It's really not that bad.
Okay, now I could understand taking spearing out the game because that's what we used to call it when we was young. You lead the crown of your head, call it spearing. But even as a kid in Pop Warner, they teach you put your head to the side and drive with their shoulder. If the cats out there leading with their head, they shouldn't even be on the field. If you don't know how to tackle, you shouldn't even be playing. I don't know how you got to that level doing that type shit.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all they doing and legislating that shit out the game. But it's still some hard hits. It's some hard hitting motherfuckers out there. They had a little safety. I want to say he was a cornerback, but he was playing in the slot as well for Seattle. I want to say it was their number 5 pick in the draft. I can't think of his name or what school he come from, but he was doing some hitting out there. He ain't the biggest guy, but he was laying some wood out there. That's for damn sure. So they still making them feel it.
Yeah, that's what gets me excited to watch football. I know I'm gonna see a great catch or the running back do his thing, but when they know that somebody out there laying that wood like that, it lets you see the heart of that running back or that receiver or that quarterback because they know. Because to me, I like to see somebody go and run through the quarterback, lay his ass down, bitch, you held it too long. I don't know what you think you're doing. Think you're gonna stand back here 4-5 seconds extra. No. Go smash his ass. But now I saw them, they wrapped the dude up. They started blowing the whistle. I'm like, dude, what y'all doing? Let them tackle the dude first.
Well, once they stopped the progress, they always blew the whistle.
Like, no, I mean, instantly wrap this dude. I done seen old school games where you thought you had the quarterback and he come up out that hole and throw that bitch for 30 yards. They took that out the game to me.
Man, y'all niggas ain't trying to watch football because of Kaepernick anyway. Like most people that don't watch football and they say this shit, it just be an excuse. The product that's on the field is not bad at all. It ain't like they done started playing flag. Yeah, the niggas they still hitting out there, but most people don't want to watch because of Kaepernick.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Big bro, I tell you too. I had got mad at football before Kaepernick, but I had came back, and then they lost me again when Kaepernick because I had started complaining because they had started changing rules. I'm one of those people with the sports. I'm like, I just don't like you changing the rules in them.
I feel you, man, but like I said, it's for the safety of the players and shit, though. Like you said. Leading with your head and shit, spearing the shit's not safe.
Right, and you shouldn't play if you play like that. You should not be able to play. If you can't hit like the rest of the dudes, you shouldn't be able to play.
Well, since the referee, it ain't their job to decide on who should be playing or not, they gonna throw that flag in that motherfucker. I do.
I'm looking at the coaches and the teams. It's their fault for picking it. Why you got this dude on your team and you know he doing it? Why would you keep an employee to keep breaking the rules, possibly costing you money? Get his ass out of there. That's just how I look at it when it comes to sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had a little stretch where it was a lot of head scratching calls. But since I've been watching recently, I could watch a whole game and I might not see one call that I thought was crazy. Sometimes you do see a call, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like every game they just having all these outrageous calls to where it have made football unwatchable. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it ain't like that.
Okay. Well, just for hyphy. Okay, wait, RX in the house. I don't know if I said what's up to RX or not, but my bad if I didn't. Say today's football players are bigger, stronger, and faster. If they played under the old rules, I'm sure they'd probably be zipping up body bags. Plus, the NFL had that concussion over a cover-up scandal. I know that's what it's supposed to be. So, yeah, with that, but still, you ain't getting concussions if you tackle it right. But I digress because I really don't watch football no more. I really have just gave it up. I'm trying to watch it now because I promised that I would so I could kind of talk about it a little bit. But I ain't going to lie to you. The only game I watched was that New York game against, I think it was Buffalo. And I fell asleep on that. And they ended up going into overtime. That's truly the only game I've seen. Dan Bailey said, yeah, if you pinch a player too hard, if you pinch a quarterback too hard, they hit you with a roughing the passer.
Yeah, but even them calls, they done went down though. Like I said, the players, they done already adjusted to the new rules. They not gonna keep on doing the same thing and getting fined. The motherfuckers gonna adjust. Like one of the main things they was doing, like when you tackle the quarterback, you couldn't fall down on him with all your weight. I haven't even been seeing that call because the players, they done adjusted. They not falling on the quarterback like that.
That used to be serious. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And they still getting some good hits on the quarterbacks too.
Okay, I know the move you're talking about. Saragusa used to do that move, but he would like turn the quarterback sideways, so when he fall on them, they shoulders get drove into the ground.
Yep.
He was messing those boys up like that, and then other defensive tackles started picking it up. I remember the Bears was in the game, and what's that quarterback's name? Big bro Grossman. Rex Grossman was playing quarterback. And
Chicago.
Yeah, for Chicago. He was playing quarterback. And they was playing somebody and they was trying to hurry up and get him off his game. And one of the dudes hit his ass hard. And you could hear the how they had that big old thing to get the sound. And he got up and he came back in the game, and the defensive tackle was strictly saying, oh, he got up, he coming back in the game, I'm going to put his ass out of here. And he caught his ass and put that old Siragusa move on him and fucked Grossman up. Excuse my French. Dino say, I would be... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying Grossman sucked anyway.
Yeah, he did, but at the time that was our quarterback. So,
Oh, that's why them Chicago Bears ain't worth a fuck. They ain't been worth a fuck in a while. That's really why you don't want to watch no football. You ain't got nobody to cheer for.
Nah, I ain't. Oh, La D in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on, sis? Glad to see you in the house. He said La D, night, La. Oh, she came in, didn't say good night, didn't she? Rex Grossman is the worst quarterback to start in the NFL Super Bowl. But he was there.
Well, that's because he had Brian Urlacher in that defense.
I got to take what I can get with, at least we was there in the last. We got there twice, right?
I know y'all lost to Peyton Manning.
We lost to Manning right before, and then we lost to we lost to Manning in the Super Bowl.
and you lost to Green Bay. When Green Bay won a Super Bowl, y'all lost to Green Bay. That might have been the NFC Championship.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Rod X said, I was a Bears fan for almost 37 years. That's still my team. If I start watching football again today, I will be watching the Bears play. But, I'm not watching.
Yeah, them niggas trash. Now, I don't think they won a game.
Hey, take it easy, Trey. Take it easy. Trash.
They was beating the shit out of Denver on Sunday. I think Denver came back and beat them. And them motherfuckers trash, man. Oh, yeah, they got another black quarterback, Justin Fields. We forgot about him. I guess he ain't even worth mentioning. But that motherfucker, man, garbage.
The Bears got a black quarterback?
Yeah, they got Justin Fields. He come from Ohio State. He from Georgia.
Wow. D-Lo said I skipped his comment again. What comment did I skip? I thought I was on that. He said, night, la, la. Oh, MZ, you would be surprised if you'd be surprised if you watched the football game today. Did you know they had moved away from the okay, so they moved. He's taking shots. He taking shots. It's all right though.
Leather helmets.
Yeah, man.
I ain't even see it. I noticed what he said.
Yeah, he said, did I move? Because since we moved, I never wore no leather helmet. First of all, homie. First of all. And I was pretty dangerous with a regular football helmet that you wear up to date helmet with the face mask. Don't play with me.
Yeah, you too tall for football anyway, OG. You need to be on the basketball court somewhere. You'll get broke up out there.
Man, you better quit playing, Trey. I used to be out there killing old boys on that football field. It was Pop Warner, but I was out there.
I'm talking about once you get older, them boys are hitting out there.
Oh, no, I went on and got old enough to realize the basketball was for me. I got my boy died from my knee and broke my knee. I was like, well, that's the last football game I'm ever play. Yeah. Straight to basketball.
I ain't even play in high school. I went straight to boxing. I just played in middle school. I was on the 18 though. Starting.
See, that threw me off right there. That 18 B team shit. When I came to Texas, they was hitting me with the 18 B team. I was like, what's that? What's that? I know varsity, junior varsity, freshman. I don't know what is 18 B team. 18
and B team in middle school.
Yeah, but we didn't have 18 B team in Gary, Indiana. We just had 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yeah. That ain't football country, nigga. This football country.
Oh, yeah, we're speaking about that. But anyway, I held my own when it came down, throwing some tackles and stuff, putting some wood on some people. I did my thing. And yes, I played on the defensive line. I also played middle linebacker. I also played fullback. Hard to believe, but yes, sir, I did. Skinny, but I could hit. I was fierce. Board none. Fade off.
I was a starting wheel linebacker and I was a starting tight end. I ain't never come off the field. I was on special team too.
Oh, did I mention I stayed on the field full time? That was my spot. Coming off the field was not an option.
Yeah.
Out there wreaking havoc. That's why I can't understand. I'm like, you play football. So you have a mentality about it growing up. So you start to question things when you see players get to a certain age. Oh, you can't worry about doing that. He might get hurt. And they start. Man, if you don't get your ass over there and tackle. You threw that interception, tackling. Ain't nobody else going to catch him. You the last hope. Quarterbacks just stop running after the dude. Oh, I might hurt my arm. Go sit your old soft ass down
somewhere. Yeah, I just got tired of team sports. So I just said, fuck it, and went to boxing. I just want it to be all on me. If it's going to be a win, it's on me. If it's a loss, it's on me. Because I don't want to be out there. Because I used to be trying to kill a motherfucker out there. I ain't gonna even lie to you. And I'm over here sacrificing myself. And one time my coach Gilstrap, he said, man, look at y'all helmet and look at Trey helmet. Look how his helmet all messed up, the tape all messed up. Because he off in there getting in there hitting. And that shit made me really look at the motherfucker. Like I'm over here, I'm cross-eyed and shit in the game. I swear to God, I'll be cross-eyed in the game. I couldn't even uncross my eyes because I'm off in there trying to knock a dick in the dirt. Like I'm trying to lay some wood, and everybody else, they out there being some pretty boy. Like, no, man, fuck that shit.
Man, I feel you on there. When you see having the scuffs on your helmet, that's like marks. That's the badges of glory right there. They let you know you out there popping.
Yeah.
You ain't got no scars on your helmet, man. You ain't doing nothing in the game. You can't even talk to me.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I had to hit somebody every play. That's why I love playing tight end, man. The play could be way on the other side, nigga. I'm still knocking down linebackers and knocking down safeties. They ain't even close to the play. I just want to hit somebody every play. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I just got a big rush out of it. You know what I'm saying? Listening to the coaches and parents talking about, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. He too little. Look at his skinny legs. Look how skinny he is. You can run him over. As soon as that ball snapped and get there, you couldn't block me.
Yeah.
Cause I was fast, agile, squeeze through that little old slot before the line could even get moving. I'm all over the quarterback. I'm giving them hell trying to hand the ball off. Mind you, this was Pop Warner. I don't want nobody to think that MZ talking about high school and no shit like that. I was smart enough to know not to have my light ass out there in no high school. I seen how retarded they was when they was hitting each other. They wasn't little. Our football team loved to be in the weight room pushing weights just all the time. I don't know if they was on steroids. I ain't gonna blame them on that because I don't think they was, but they was in there doing that kind of just crazy.
Yeah.
Getting their ass kicked. Our football team sucked.
Yeah.
But they always been talking that. They always talk that talk, Trey. But go out there and get their ass whooped. We going to the dome this year because it used to be a big thing when the Astrodome was still hot. It was always high school championship. You know, we going to the dome. We never made it to the dome.
I can't think of these niggas' names, but we just had 3 players get drafted into the NFL from Temple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some wide receivers. I think one of them went to the Chargers. Oh, don't start me lying, man. I gotta go look that shit up again. I remember everybody was celebrating. It's a lot of talent that come from where I live. Like Odell Beckham, his people come from my area. Like his dad went to school with my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got roots out there.
Lake Seastrump, he had went to Baylor and he ended up playing maybe a season or 2 for the Redskins, I think. He was electric off in high school though. Shit, if I sit here long enough, man, I can give you a whole list of players that came from this area. We definitely known for football. When I first went to Dallas and I was gonna play for Skyline, and I told them I come from Temple, Texas, they knew all about it. You know what I'm
Dallas
saying?
Skyline, Temple, Texas.
Yeah.
2 big names in football, high school football for sure.
Yeah.
They got a movie about y'all, don't they? I know Dallas Skyline. Ain't they in the movie? What's the name of that team with Billy Joe Thornton is the coach?
You talking about Friday Night Lights? I think that's a Permian.
Oh, that's the Permian and Dallas Skyline, ain't it?
Nah, they got like South Lake Curl and shit like that. Skyline was cool in football.
It's one of the, it's a name. I can't think of the name of that high school, but that high school name is big.
Yeah,
if it ain't Skyline.
I mean, Skyline made a little noise, but they weren't really just known for it. I also went to Garland. Garland was known for whooping your ass. They won 5A championship my sophomore year. That was they was some beasts up there, man. I got to give them their props.
Yeah, you know, you had to be special to play football in high school, college, pros. I'm special enough to know that I wasn't special enough to be out there letting them try to run through my sexy frame like that. No, I ain't built like that. Basketball, I give you some basketball. I'm even willing to put on a boxing glove. Football, after my knee got broke, I was like, yeah, we done with that. That is totally over.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Oh, it was plenty wrong with it. Anybody even talk to me about football, my knee started trying to go out of socket.
Shit, I know one thing. I couldn't have been no professional football player. I'll be looking at some of them hits. Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis and all them niggas. Ain't no way them niggas gonna be hitting me like that.
Patrick Willis used to. He was one of my favorite linebackers. Patrick Willis for San Francisco.
Yep.
Him, Urlacher. What's the brother name that played? Lance Briggs.
Yep.
Oh man, I used to love the way they hit. Yeah. Heck yeah. That's when Chicago was doing their thing. They had Urlacher, Briggs, and I can't think of the other name, kind of slim dude that played the other outside linebacker. They had a nice linebacking core.
Yeah, they had Peanut Tillman and all them dudes too out there punching out them balls, forcing them fumbles and shit.
That's right. Tillman, Hester was out there running that mug up and down the field.
He need to go to the Hall of Fame.
Don't he? Two touchdowns in both opening kickoffs. The opening kickoff and the one to start after halftime. Come on, man. Who does that?
Yeah, Hester was a bad motherfucker.
If only he could catch.
No, he should go just off being a returner.
No, I'm saying if only he could catch, how great of an offensive weapon he would have been. He just couldn't catch.
So much shit. I'm cool with him just being a return man, specialist.
Oh yeah, he was exciting. I give him that all day. All day. Let me see. Lions, Bears, and Cowboys. All we need next is a longtime Browns fan. The Browns? No, that's not the Browns. Let me not even pretend to know who doing what, because I don't.
Browns, they doing a little something.
Yeah.
We bet against them. We took the Baltimore Ravens over them though. So we won some money.
Oh, well, shit, they ain't doing good enough. Oh, shoot. I messed that all up.
Sorry ass Cincinnati Bengals, they the surprise team of the year so far. Them niggas trash.
They the surprise, so they winning.
No, they trash. They normally good, but they out there getting their ass kicked.
Dang, let me see. I just see the
Cowboys. They're like 1-3 or 0 or some shit like that.
The only time I remember the Bengals being good is when they had Ickey Woods.
They was good for the last few years. You remember me and OG, we had made a bet because he took the Bengals and I took the Rams when they went to the Super Bowl.
The Bengals won the Super Bowl again?
No, they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Rams a couple of years ago.
I like the Rams when they had the greatest show on turf. Yeah. That was a good underdog story for Kurt Warner. They made a movie about that boy going from bagging groceries to winning Super Bowls.
Yeah. I'm about to go ahead and jump off though, bro.
Oh man, I was trying to stretch it to that midnight mark here so I could have said happy birthday to you, but I'm gonna give you an early happy birthday right now, bro. And hope you get many, many, many more.
Definitely appreciate that, my brother. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. I'm about to go ahead and jump off. I'm gonna be in the chat though.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hold it down till at least we get midnight. Then I'm gonna let it go. Eric, all right, here. Let me read what he said. He said, "Not much, fan. Just got home from vacation, just cleaning up, getting ready to pick up my dog tomorrow. Me and my son played a little basketball on the ship with a stand-up comedian." Oh, really? Did he joke y'all out? Yeah, Rod X said, Texas definitely a football state. Yeah, we got it going on in Texas. D-Lo, I remember Lake at Baylor. He was hella nice. I don't know who that is. His name was Alan Cunningham. Funny dude from Detroit. Keep an eye out for him. All right, I'll keep both eyes out because, I wear glasses and I can't see that good. Here come my old Joe from D-Lo, but I don't care. We snatched the state championship last year and looked good, and it's looking good so far this year. Well, from your high school, that was Odessa from West Texas and Dallas Carter. Okay, that's what it was, Dallas Carter, not the other school. I know it was one of those schools from up there that had the big name, but Dallas Carter, yeah. Dilo said there's a Dallas Carter movie too, with Rock playing the head coach. It's damn good in my opinion. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm a softie for football movies. I'm a softie for sports movies if they depict enough of the real game and they make it like it's believable. If it's not believable, it sucks. But I ride with a good sports game. Yeah, can't forget about Peanut Tillman. He was out there, but the other dude was pretty decent too. Hester belongs in the hall. They need to close the doors. He gonna get in there. How could they not let him get in there? Hester is the best kickoff punt returner ever. Dang, there's another guy that was just as good. They call him the human joystick. I can't remember his name right now, but he might have something to say about that, about Hester being the best punt returner ever, because he was pretty damn good himself. Ray Guy's in the hall as a punter, considered as all-time great, well-deserved. So Hester certainly deserves a spot. Ray Guy was a heck of a punter. He could put that ball up there. I think they timed him one time. He actually got it to stay in the air for like 3.5 to 4 seconds. Hell of a punter. That dude could kick. Bengals are 1-3. I don't know if that's bad or good. I guess it's bad because that's 4 games. You could at least win 2-2. But they might turn it around. They still got what? 8 games, or do they play more games now? Oh, no. Those Rams were exciting to watch. You talk about the greatest show on turf with Thurman and BB. What BB on that team? BB, Kurt Warner. It was just a nice team. Good defense, but playing on that turf, they made them real fast as well. Real faster than being on in dirt. Those Rams. She talking to Trace, telling him happy birthday. Everybody telling him happy early birthday. I'm gonna try to appreciate it. The birthday wishes, Libra gang. That's the best Trey voice I got. Yeah, it is. It's that time. People finna start acting crazy. Libras finna be running around, showing they Libraless and making people nervous. But it is what it is. The sun shines for everybody. I hope it'll be a great day for you. Speaking of dreams coming true. Did any of y'all get to see Jamel spar his favorite fighter, Canelo? I knew not to trust him. Good joke. Yeah, we did see him fight his favorite fighter, as you put it. And people was disappointed. Very disappointed. Very disappointed to watch that man run around in a glorified sparring match. But he got his paper. He didn't get knocked out, so he gets to hold that over everybody's head. He go tell the other dudes that, he stopped you. He was already saying, what did he do to other fighters? He knocked him out. They knocked me out. So we already know where his head is, no matter what people say about him. He strikes me as the kind of guy who would be able to say, yeah, I did that, so forget what y'all talking about. Ray Guy was a hell of a football player all around, but settled as a punter in the NFL. He is one of the greatest from my high school. Oh, that's why you riding on Ray like that. Ray Guy went to your high school? Ray Guy went to your high school. I ain't gonna even make no joke about your high school, D-Lo. Where you went to high school at? Where Ray Guy from? Let me hear what this man Humble Roots started as. Other than that, feast me a nice little sip here. I'm holding it down. Ray Guy. Anybody see an interview with Herschel Walker? No, not Herschel Walker. I'm sorry. Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was talking about running the 40, and he kept pulling up because his reasoning was it wasn't enough stopping space for him to stop if he ran a 40 at full speed. And he ended up running something like a 4.1 on a digital clock, but he was saying some people had him at some crazy numbers. But the coaches was getting on him talking about, man, get these people what they came to see. So he was like, y'all have to open up the door so I can have enough room to stop. He told his boy to take the stuff to the car. He just ran out of there and never stopped. I just thought that was pretty cool since we was on some football. Wait a minute. And the Canelo ain't really been stopping people here recently. Nah, he didn't stop Charlo. He said, now I gotta jump on the damn bandwagon, on the damn Crawford bandwagon, and hope he get up to the next. He get to fight Nello. I don't think Canelo gonna be in no hurry to fight Crawford, because he already started saying that Crawford is too small and he's not gonna get credit because people gonna say Crawford was too small. That's what he just said a couple of times already in interviews. So I wouldn't look too hard for that to be coming around. You know, Canelo still blessed to get to move however he wants to move in boxing, and nobody's gonna question it. D-Lo say Jamel messed off his brand. He didn't use that word exactly, but y'all get what I'm saying. I'll put it up there. Now I got to jump on the damn. Okay, I read that. Thompson, GA. Thompson, Georgia? How far is that from Smyrna? College Park. Remember they used to say College Park, not College Park, College Park? And then they got a street named Houston, but they call it Houston in Atlanta. I don't know where they get that from. It's spelled the same, Houston, but they say Houston. It is what it is. I heard Bo tell that story, Rod. Is okay, so you know what I'm saying. Man, I can't believe the way he got hurt. Such a freak accident, the way his hip bone like jumped out of socket and then popped back in. Oh, and that took Bo away from football. He was gonna be doing some great stuff. He was the first two-sport athlete that was really making noise. The time range was from 3.9 to 4.12 things. So you saw it till y'all saw it. So I ain't just making it up. Y'all know what I'm telling the truth about. Bo told them to open them doors, and he just kept it moving. Man, that dude was so fast. He ran so pretty. The way it was just nice. Especially in that silver and black. The Raiders was hot then. You couldn't tell the Raiders nothing. They had Bo back there Bo knows. Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows bowling. Him and Michael Jordan was about to be the two biggest things in sports. Nello don't exist. Canelo is all right. Who was better college running? Wait, dang, it bounced on me. Who was the better college running back? Hershey Walker or Bo Jackson? Both were freaks of nature. I think Bo Jackson was the better running back. Hershey was good, and once Hershey got past you and got that step, he was hard to catch up with. But Bo Bo could run you over. Hershey could run you over too. I just got to give it to Bo, man. I think Bo was the better running back in college. He had better hands than Herschel. Herschel couldn't catch that, wasn't that great of a catcher. You could hit him sometime coming out the backfield, but you would rely on Bo to catch those nice little screens and nice little across the middle sometime or off on the end after the receiver spill out. You can kind of depend on him to catch the ball. Herschel was more of you got to put it in his bread basket and let him work from there. So I had to give the vote to Bo. Funny how Crawford too small, but let Mayweather come out of retirement at 50 for a one of it 154, and watch how fast Canelo would jump on a potato. What is that? A palo diet? What kind of fruit or vegetable is that? You think I don't think he'd try to go back down to fight Floyd at 147. He'll try to if they get to negotiation, he'll try to use his celebrity. He think his celebrity is bigger than Floyd's, and try to make Floyd come up to weight, which he did that the last time. made it a catch weight that didn't work out for him. Because the country in GA is also pronounced Houston, probably named after a Confederate soldier. Yeah, well, I don't give a damn about it being named after some old funky ass Confederate soldier. Even though he was fighting for what he believed in, that's all fine and dandy. But they ain't separated like that. And I don't think they have, they not spelling it like that on that street in Atlanta that I seen. It's spelled Houston, not Houston. It's spelled just like that. But, you know, Barry Sanders was a better college running back than both of them, but all great. Yeah, I seen I need to see that whole thing. I want to see that whole thing with Thurman Thomas. I think it was Thurman was talking about how they was getting ready to play Barry Switzer was scared of Barry Sanders. Didn't want him to get in the game when they was in college because they had Thurman Thomas. Am I saying the right dude, Thurman Thomas? I think it's Thurman. But they didn't want them to hurt Thurman because they didn't want to play against Barry Sanders. They didn't want Barry to come in the game. Barry was returning the ball in college, eating them up. Every time I hear Barry talk, though, he speaks about not being able to please his dad. His dad would always hit him with, "Yeah, you good, but you would never be good as," I can't remember the running back's name that his dad used to compare it to. I saw this a long time ago. It was an interview that he was giving. Marshall Faulk was a beast with a good line. Barry ain't need no O-line. Just get out the way. Yeah, Marshall Faulk did. Marshall Faulk, for the Marshall Faulk. I'm trying to remember. Was it Marshall Faulk? What was the name of the running back? Marshall Faulk was cold. I liked Marshall. He could catch. He was the dependable back that you could hit out the backfield, put the ball in his hands. You could pretty much depend on him to handle his business and running that ball. Marshall Faulk ate up some good ground. He ate up some good ground. Marshall Faulk was, at the time, he was one of my favorite football players. The video game was out there, Madden. He was one of the people that people like to use on the team. Marshall Faulk, yeah. Good old Marshall. Thurman. Team that overachieved. Am I tripping or are the Bills hot again? Because I remember they had got so hot when they had Jim Kelly and they were Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, all those guys. And was it 4 Super Bowls in a row they went to and lost all 4 of them? Or was it 3? I had to hear my memory kind of shaky. But I think, wasn't it 4 in a row? They went to 4 Super Bowls in a row and lost all 4 of them. And you really hear people say they still was a great team. But nowadays, you got some teams they lose. Anybody lose 4 in a row now, and they'd be like, oh man, they was just, I don't know, they just couldn't get over the hump. Jim Brown, I think, is who Barry Sanders did. I didn't want to say Jim Brown, but it was on the tip of my tongue, but I didn't want to be wrong. But that goes into a lot of why Barry left the game early, I think, because a lot of people feel like he was at the peak of his powers. And the argument, the sentiment was that he probably would have ended up being the one that was holding the record for the all-time leading rusher instead of Walter Payton before Emmitt Smith broke it, which took a long time for it to happen again. 4 straight Super Bowls, yes. Man, can you just imagine being on a team like that and 4 times in a row getting shut down? Thurman Thomas seemed to be the guy to get there and then bang, all of a sudden he fumbled the ball at the most crucial time in the game and ended up losing. They lost to the Cowboys, 1 to the Redskins, and 1 to the Giants. Man, 2 to the Cowboys, 1 to the Redskins, and 1 to the Giants. They just couldn't get over their hump. Just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Falk was phenomenal at SDSU. Is it 12 yet? 19 more minutes. And Brown saying happy birthday to Trey X, bro. It's almost that time. We still pushing a little bit. But yeah, Falk was cool. But man, can you imagine Just imagine going to 4 Super Bowls in a row saying, yeah, we failed last year, but we got it this year. Bam, fell off that year, but we coming back again, end up getting back and lose again. But that day when Thurman Thomas fumbled that ball, man, the look on his face was just, you could tell he was just like heartbroken. I remember seeing those games. I remember watching those games. It's a little hazy, but I remember. Hey, I just go through my mind on some time. You're like, wow, there was a lot going on around here for me in my life. Barry wanted to win, and Detroit wouldn't trade him or bill properly. So he walked away. Emmett acknowledges that Barry likely would have put the rushing record out of reach. Yeah, that's a big possibility. That's a big possibility. But, you know, people make certain moves and do certain things, and history books end up getting written a certain way. The guy from Detroit didn't do it. The guy from Chicago did. Walter Sweetness Payton. But I don't take nothing away from Barry. I hate that he left the game early like he did. But, you know, want your dad's approval, if that's what, you know, helped drive him away. And Detroit, because they would not build against, they just wanted to sell tickets off that man's back. They really didn't give him a good team. And they wasn't letting him go because he sold tickets. Would you let him go? You probably would have built a good team around him, though. But you know how people do. Sometimes it ain't about winning. It's just about selling some tickets. And I remember Jim Kelly, I think he used to play for the Houston Gamblers when they used to be right there at Fun Stadium. That's where they play Pop Warner football. Just so I can keep y'all on the up and up. If he played football, it was just Pop Warner. So when I get to going on about how I was out there smashing, just remember I was a kid. I gotta go to class tomorrow, but it's all good. Favorite running back. Who I like Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. Once Tiki, what's his name? Tiki Barber. Was it Tiki Barber that used to cuff the ball? He had the best running, and I thought Emmitt has the rushing record, MZ, not Sweetness. I know that D-Lo for boxing. What I said was the dude from Chicago set the record, which stood for so long, and then Emmitt broke it. That's all I'm saying. So Sweetness had the record. Now choke yourself. Now, anyway, where was I? Since you want to just try to take the record from him like that. Did you play against Jim Thorpe? Really? No, I didn't play against Jim Thorpe. I was not around when Jim Thorpe was playing homeboy. You throwing these you just being unbearable right now. Uncouth you are, sir. Jim Thorpe. No. I used to be a Cowboys fan when I was a little boy, and I didn't know no better. And my auntie like, oh yeah, Eric Dickerson and Adrian Peterson. Two good running backs right there, Trey Eggs. Eric Dickerson was the man with the Jerry curl. Once he broke that line and that stride kicked in, it wasn't no catching Eric Dickerson, man. And he could make you miss. Adrian Peterson, he just ran so violently once you got in front of him. He just, that one guy he ran over, and it looked like he stepped on his helmet and kept going. Oh, man, those Adrian Peterson had some speed, too. I'm excited because those are two hell of a running backs right there. Eric Dickerson and Adrian Peterson. Eric Dickerson's running that ball for the Rams. That's when the Rams was, the Rams. Eric Dickerson set the rookie rushing record? Wasn't it 2,000 yards on the ground? Man, can you imagine? Y'all can't stop me. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to be saying the wrong number. I think it's 2,000 because 1,000. It's all right, but that ain't like, yeah, it's 2,000. It's 2,000. Has anybody caught that record yet? Let me know. D-Lo, you seem to be running neck and neck. Dude was from G8, had the record before Sweetness, but decided to do some acting. dude from GA had the record before Sweetness. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know what his name is because you don't know what his name is, but I do know that Sweetness, whoever had the record, he took it from them, held it for a super long time, and then Emmitt Smith came. What you doing, D-Lo? What you doing? Quit trying to chip away at Sweetness' greatness. That's not cool. That's not how it's supposed to be. I wouldn't do Emmitt like that. Wait, what team do you even like, D-Lo? While you sitting here poking holes in what I've got going on right now. Jim Thorpe. This man here is clowning tonight. Anybody else other than Adrian Peterson and Eric Dickerson? I used to like John Regans back in the day to play for the Washington Redskins. I like the way he used to run, because him and the Hogs, that's what they used to call the Redskins. Oh, they the Commanders now, but back in the day, they was the Redskins. Tony Dorsett and Barry are two of my favorites that I got to see play. Then probably LT, Curtis Martin, Falk, and Ward Dunn. I used to like Ward Dunn a lot. He reminded me of my nephew named Russell. I mean, they pretty much look just the same. Jim Brown was his name. MZ. So Sweetness was the man that Emmitt Smith had to get it from. Thank you very much. And Jim Brown didn't play that long either. Man, that says a lot. That means Walter Payton really had to work hard for Jim Brown to set the record in as few games as he did, because he left the game early. Just like Barry Sanders left the game early. So bravo with that, D-Lo. I guess, I wasn't really all the way on point, because I should have caught that when you said he left to go to some active football player, yada, yada. I should have caught that, but I didn't. But good move. Shady McCoy was underrated. McCoy. The name sound familiar. It's ringing the bell. I'm trying to remember which running back this is, but I'm having a hard time gripping it. Let me see. Lawrence, not Lawrence Taylor. LT. What's LT real name? I'm tripping. Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson used to go over the across the end zone with the poles. he was hot. He could catch too. He was decent with catching the ball coming out the back. Curtis Martin was a beast. Curtis Martin was a hard-nosed, hard running back. That boy did his thing. Shady played for the Eagles. Okay. Shady McCoy, Eagles running back. I'm trying to place him still. I'm having a hard time placing him. Y'all got to forgive me. Sometimes I have it right away. Sometimes it takes a second for it to kick in. Don't say nothing, D-Lo. Just let it go. Dorsett and Barry. Okay, I see it here. Jim Brown, Shady McCoy, underrated. Let me see. The Nigerian, what's his name? The Nigerian Nightmare. What was the big dude used to wear the big old shoulder pads to make him look real big, and little man stuck him, popped him coming through the hole. Christian Okoye. Jamal Lewis was under. Oh, Jamal Lewis, yeah, man, he looked mean. He looked like he was aggravated when he used to run. You sure right. He was hard to bring down. And for a minute, he used to lead the league. When they was running, I was like, dang, how he lead the league on his team? But yeah, Jamal Lewis, good ass running back. Good call. Back then, it was some good ass running backs. John Regans, like I said, he was one of my favorite running backs. What's the dude? Not Larry Zonka. Okoye. I already said Okoye. The dude that played for Allstott, Mike Allstott. I used to like him. I used to like to see him blocking for Ward Dunn. That was a nice little combination. I used to like to see them running that ball, especially Ward Dunn coming off of Allstott blocking. Allstott just had little hands. They used to key in on it so they could make him fumble. And that turned to be something that played against him. Yes, sir, Bob. It sure did. Okay, time is counting. So, favorite quarterback. I don't really have a favorite quarterback. My cousin went to high school with Lewis at Tri-Cities. He said he was a monster in high school. I'm sure you see how that dude, the way he ran in the pros. I ain't seen him run in college because I wasn't into college at the time. I was watching them play pros. Just too much for me. I had to be out and doing stuff when their games was going on. I just had time to come in and watch the pro games and go back out and try to be grown. Y'all understand. Eric R say Shady was his favorite Eagles running back. What was the dude name that was playing for the Bears? He disappointed me when they had the two good running backs, and old boy got hurt on the kickoff return in the Super Bowl, and then he went to another team and started running good. I'm gonna send you a couple clips and see. Cool, I'm with that. You know how to reach me. I can't think of his name. Punk ass. Got on the team, but would do his thing. Anyway, that's why I can see what Trey was talking about. That's why I don't kind of like voting for team sports, because you got too many people to depend on. And if this dude ain't doing his job, he could screw up everything. I know in basketball we should have that problem. Dude, stop. You ain't been shooting good all game. Now all of a sudden you want to just start firing up. What's wrong with you? You don't shoot in practice. Now all of a sudden you want to shoot. Shoot again. Shoot it again and watch what happens. Jerome Bettis, the bus, was a bad man too, who got wrote off like Falk, and Drew Brees, who had a regression, a reinsurgence with the new team. Jerome Bettis did his thing with the Steelers. The bus wasn't no punk, man. Don't play with the bus like that. Wrote off like Falk and Drew Brees. Who wrote Drew Brees off? What happened with Drew Brees? I'm confused with that one. I didn't know he got wrote off because he was so small, but he was rugged. He played this position. He made it happen. If you can make it happen, you can make it happen. You're supposed to play. If you out there screwing up and you just don't know what's going on, yeah, you deserve to be sitting on. Go sit down. Just stop. Just go sit down. I don't want to hear from you. Pass some water out to everybody that's thirsty. That's what you could do. Out there hitting wrong, jumping off sides. That's something that pissed me off. People that can't stay on sides. You've been practicing that since Pop Warner. Down, ready, set, hut one, hut two, hut three, snap the ball. Go, bang. How you jumping off sides? And you on offense. You know what I'm saying? Come to the huddle. Hey, 33 on 3. Or 33 on 6. You know, third hole. Y'all know what it is. LaDainian Tomlinson, Darryl Sproles. Ooh, forgot all about Sproles. Michael Turner. Man, you brought up some good names with that one. Forget all about Darren Sproles, though. My favorite backfield of all time. Did Chargers thought Breeze was done? Breeze played for the Chargers? Are you talking about Drew Brees that was the quarterback for the Saints? Hey, I don't remember him playing for the Chargers. Am I tripping? I could be. I guess. I got different football players in different positions. They on different teams. But, you know, they was like, that's the dude right there. Like, the coach felt Falk was on the decline. Yeah, I think they let him go too quick. But the dude that took his place went to school in Houston. I think he went to, I want to say, LC. Big bro could correct me, but I know he went to Houston. He went to high school in Houston. The dude that took Falk's place. I am tripping. So he did play for I don't remember him playing for the Chargers. I'm sorry, y'all. That part there, T hurt his shoulder. So he Wait a minute. So he like played for the Chargers now. Because when I was watching football, Drew Brees played for the Saints. So he didn't move to a new team. Edgerrin James. No, it's not Edgerrin James. I remember Edgerrin James, but Edgerrin James, he was playing for the Colts. The dude that used to run, maybe he used to play running back for the. Was it the Patriots? I can't remember the dude's name, but he went to school in Houston. Okay, I feel you. I'm gonna check him out. Yeah, Edgerrin James. I used to like the way he ran. Edgerrin James was my guy. I liked him. Wasn't that great of a catcher. He would drop that ball when you really wanted him to catch it, but running that ball, putting it in his bread basket, he'd do his thing with that. Edgerrin was pretty good runner. He had that oomph about it. He fight for that yard. What, D-Lo? Saying MZ, I'm like, what? I'm tripping. He's retired now. The Chargers drafted him. I'm thrown off because I don't remember Drew Brees playing for the Saints. Am I saying the wrong name? Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch was a heck of a runner too. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Man, Marshawn, that's another good one, man. They boiling out right now. Tony Dorsett, when I was young, he was like kind of top of the list for me. It's so many. I like Gale Sayers. I used to like to see the old footage of him because I didn't see him play. I just got to see old footage of him. But that dude was like, just give me 6 inches of daylight and he could take it to the house. That's how he felt. Dang, messed his knees up. Just couldn't be the running gazelle no more. Motley Crue, that was the first powerful running back that I can remember learning through history. He was a lineman, or big as a lineman, but they used him as a running back. I'm pretty sure some of y'all should know about him. Marcus Allen. Oh, my goodness. Raider royalty right there. Marcus Allen. One of the best to do. Smooth. Marcus Allen was smooth with it. It wasn't, you really didn't look for him to like hit you with no power, but he would like be in front of you and make you miss and make it happen. Man, he was a good one. Marcus Allen, Raider Nation. Good call right there. Good call. I was a huge MJD, Lynch, and D'Angelo Williams fan. Did I say MDG? I know I didn't say that. I said MJD. I know I had to say MJD. Brandon Jacobs was a nightmare for the NFC East. Oh my gosh, that big dude for the Giants. Oh yes, he could fall forward for at least 3 yards. Brandon Jacobs, when he decided to run, it was a mess. It was a mess. When he decided he was gonna move that peel, it wasn't nothing too many people was trying to do about it except try to grab on and keep him from moving. I said he was like a juggernaut running back. Once he got his momentum going, it was hard to stop him. Sean Alexander was a nice running back. Look at Lala D in the house still. She say, "Facts, Trey." She ain't listening about that football talk. Lala, who was one of your favorite running backs, if you had one, or football player in general? We just sitting here. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. As far as my clock says, Marcus Jones-Drew. Maurice Jones-Drew. Another good name on the board, but I got to put it for a pause. It's 12:01. We have made it to this man's birthday. Happy birthday, Libra Nation, as they say. Happy birthday to you, Trey X. It's been great. Walter Payton? Why you put a question mark behind it like that? Walter Payton sweetness is man, that's like top 10 running back. People gonna always remember Walter Payton. That's a good one. But we did give him his props already. But I ain't saying happy birthday or nothing, but I'm just gonna say, man, happy birthday to you. And I hope you have many more. Happy birthday to you, bro. Yeah. So I done made it this far. I am now going to say, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to get off here because I got class tomorrow. But I wanted to make sure I held it long enough to be able to give my brother, the man who calls fights, called the frauds out of Wales, he the best fight caller in the game to me, especially in the YouTube streets. These boys can't fuck with. Trey X, my partner, happy birthday to you. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hit that professional one more time. I was just hanging around. Y'all's midnight, peace and blessing. Thanks, D-Lo. I appreciate you all stopping through. Everybody that came through, I appreciate it. Once again, happy birthday, bro. I'm out.
Always got that grip, and it best in every wish. Professional, she never miss. Professional, she gon' go. Gonna handle all of this, yeah. Professional, she gon' go. Gonna handle all of this, yeah. Gonna handle all of this, yeah.